This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome, everybody, to the X&C Podcast. Welcome to episode 228. And I am your host, Colteastwood.
You are.
And over here is the other host.
Yes, sir.
The Megalodon, the Magnificent, the Maggot, the Mega
The man with a magnetic personality. The man
with the
Gandalf
Magmillion.
named. Yeah, there you go. The man who was named after the next Xbox, Project Mag.
The Xbox Magnus. How are you tonight on this Monday?
Wonderful. I am doing wonderful. Actually, I did a stream earlier today. I want to thank the damn near 700 people that came out to watch it today, to watch me do the live reaction to the Game Awards. I'm sure we're going to talk about that tonight, and we had some fun this afternoon. I've been having fun with the community. Oh man, there are some very sensitive Call of Duty people out there, man. Holy crap! Listen, let me tell you something. You guys never would have survived. You never would have survived the Xbox 360 Modern Warfare era. Okay. There are some very sensitive people out there. So I was talking about the game, but we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But I've been doing that, playing a lot of Call of Duty, been playing with the community as well. We had a blast playing the co-op, even though the game's not good. But we're having so much fun playing the game that it doesn't really make a difference. And you know what? And that's what's bothering people right now. And they're like, Meg, how can you say this to bliggity blah? And I'm like, listen, you can have a bad game and have a really good time with it, okay? Zombies is outstanding, by the way. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
It's so good. The Zombies is really good in this one. But the other stuff, listen, and I said, guys, be real, okay? There are bad movies out there that you love, aren't there? Yeah. I'm like, okay. So you can't have a bad game and have fun? Anyways, we're having fun with the community, having a great time. I played with a bunch of people from the community channel members and stuff like that. We're going to do it again when I get back. I'm going to Great Wolf Lodge tomorrow, so I'm going to be busy. Thursday night, I'm doing another Magcast. What's that?
Getting your naked on?
Yeah, me. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes, they have a nude part of the water park now, Colt. Very European, by the way.
It's called the bathroom.
Yeah, it's called the bathroom, yeah. The change room. So, yeah, I'll be doing that at Magcast on Thursday. And then from Friday and on, we're going to be doing some more Call of Duty community game nights. Some people have asked for Battlefield 6. I'm like, absolutely. I'll go back to Battlefield 6. I'm having a great time with that, too. Of course, since the last show, I saw Noof Nukem in Niagara Falls, which I'm heading back to Niagara Falls tomorrow. And that was a great time. I live streamed from the bar as requested by the maggots. And that was a mess, but it was really funny. We had a great time. It was funny as I was live on the air at the bar, the people watching the show were literally buying shots for us live on the air. They're like, here's $20, get another round. I'm like, oh no, please stop.
No way.
By the time... Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, and people were just throwing money. They're like, go get another round of shots. Get it. I'm like, all right, let's do this. By the time that Noof, myself, my wife, and the doctor got to the casino, I don't remember anything else after that. However, that being the case, Noof Nukem gave me a nice little gift. I want to show everybody this.
Oh, nice.
He got me a Christmas tree ornament, and it is an Xbox. It's an Xbox 360 Christmas tree ornament. Now, here's the cool part. Listen to this.
I can't hear it.
It turns on.
Oh, there we go.
It's playing the Halo music now, and it had the fire up of the Xbox 360.
Very nice, and it's gas sized. Cool?
It's absolutely gas sized for his little carnival hands. Yeah, but it actually has the Xbox 360. You didn't hear that? Listen.
Do it again. Hold on, I gotta look at. I was watching the live feed.
Did you hear it? That was the fire up of the Xbox 360, like the big circle, whatever. Yeah, man. Hey, so he gave me that. It was really cool.
And you guys sent me a video of you guys at the bar.
We did. That was a personal message.
That was pretty cool.
That was a personal message.
Things were said that cannot be repeated, but you did send me.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. A lot of news. I hate this, Mag. A lot of news breaks while we're done with the show. We roll the show. We're finally resting up. and the Steam machine got announced, and a bunch of other stuff that we're going to cover today happened. I've spent pretty much all of my free time playing Arc Raiders with That Blue Number, with Dante,
nice,
Red Wolf, and Gaz and his buddy. And I wanted to propose an argument that, well, I want to propose how wrong I am. How about that? Because I had an argument with them about, what's that?
You're trying to propose to me? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I would, but we're both kind of very ingrained in entrenched in our own marriages right now. But if there's a good tax break up there in Canada, I'll certainly come up. So there was this rumor that Embark, the team behind Arc Raiders, was going to listen to some of the fans and bring in a PvE mode and allow you to play the game in a separate lobby where you don't have to fight against real people. And this really upset.
Whoa.
Yeah. This
I like that.
Huh?
I like that.
Oh,
Sorry,
interesting.
I like
this
that.
is going to be an interesting discussion. Yeah. Shout out to
it's
That
an
Blue
option,
Number.
Coles.
It's an okay. Well, I guess okay. I was going to say how wrong I was, but I think we're gonna find an interesting discussion here, Mag. I'll give you the premise, and we'll jump into the discussion. For those of you who are interested in Arc Raiders, it's a game where you go in and there's AI controlled enemies who want to attack you, but there's also human enemies that can decide. It's kind of like the Wild West. They can be cooperative. Many times they are, or many times they are all toxic and want to kill everybody else. So the game is the tension is insane. Sounds like what?
Sounds like Twitter.
Oh, yeah. And,
very
koalas
toxic
out there.
people trying to kill everybody's trying to kill each other, and then AI involved. Yeah, sounds like Twitter.
Yeah.
Or a regular day in the office for Satya with the AI, but trying to kill everybody else in the meantime. But anyhow, yes.
So in the game, the drones and some of the walking mechs are very deadly if more than one of them are out. That it can take you and your team down. But a real human who decides to be toxic or decides they want to, because it's PvP, they can take you down really, really fast too. So the tension of watching over your shoulder for both types of enemies makes the game super unique. So the rumor was that Embark was going to bring in a PvE lobby where you can play and there's no real people. If you die, it's because the computer got you. Okay. And so a couple of my friends like Fonz and Gaz, who we all really love the game the way it is, but they said it would ruin the game. And we got in a very heated argument because I had one stance, but by the end, I'm like, okay, they're right. Like maybe it would ruin the game. My original argument was if there is a PvE lobby and you can continue to play the game traditionally, why not just let them do that? Let the people who feel like they're too weak go over there and play against the computer. This is how we talk at our generation. And then if you want to play the game the way it's meant to be played, just play in regular mode, which is the Wild West. And they said, no, it would burn. It would kill us. What's your take on this, Mag, before I talk the whole time?
Yeah. I'm assuming you were talking about Gollum, a.k.a. Gaz, especially with that voice. Listen, this may be unpopular to some people. I understand. I see what people are saying in the chat, and they're saying like, well, take away from the spirit of the game and that whatever, blah blah. But if you're not taking away that actual game mode, the regular game mode or whatever, you're not really taking. You're just providing another option on the side that someone else can play that you can completely ignore. So I don't know. I don't see it really being a problem as an option. Like there's some people out there who probably want to play, but they're not really highly skilled, or they're just not. You know what I mean? They're not comfortable playing with other people.
Or they don't like being
There are a
griefed.
lot of factors out there. That's right. And so I think, actually, I don't mind it. I mean, like I said, if it doesn't interfere with the actual core game itself, it's a nothing burger. I don't think it's a big deal because, like I said, it's just an option that it'll be just a square on your start screen that you can completely ignore every single time. I mean, it's like playing, I don't know, that's like them adding a new game mode in like a first-person shooter. Like, oh, we're doing
like
this
Overwatch.
mode now. I'm like, oh, okay, there you go. And you'd be like, oh, I don't want to play that mode. Okay, so don't click on it.
That was my original.
There's a male strip club right there.
I don't want to go into the male strip club.
I don't want to see naked men. Well, then don't go inside. You know what I mean?
But I'm already
just don't go
in.
inside. Yeah. Oh, you just accidentally walked in, eh? So
no, Mag would be like, but I work here.
But I work here, exactly. Well, me, yeah. It's like, then don't play it.
Well, there's more
You
to
know what
it
I mean?
than that.
I don't think it's a problem. I mean, like I said, there's probably people out there who just don't want to play with other human beings.
So I came around on the argument, and it kicked me right in the face because there were some really strong reasons why Arc Raiders wouldn't add this. One of them is you've got the most popular game out in the world right now. Why would you rock the boat to appease the fraction of people that don't want to be griefed in a competitive game? I wouldn't. If I own the game, and I've talked to like Red Wolf and Holly and Dante about this. We've been playing the game a lot, and I'm like, I would play in the PvE mode, you know, when I'm just feel like just chilling and not being tense. But when you want that tension, you gotta go for it. But if I made that game, I would not do that. I'd be looking at the numbers going, why would we change or offer something that might potentially shake up the trajectory of this game being super popular? The other thing is...
Okay, I can see that too. Sure.
That's what I started to come around on. And then Zocker was telling me, Zocker87, who's a longtime friend and was in the discussion with me and saying, Sea of Thieves was one of his favorite games ever. Once they introduced PvE, it was like this slow degradation of players where people went and played PvE and they realized it wasn't as fun as the high seas with people trying to murk them. You know, so he said they started to lose players over and over because this split the player base. The other thing is, I'm trying to keep all my thoughts in order here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say, but
No. I want to piggyback off something you said though. Now, while you gather your thoughts, it was that you were saying that it's something you don't want to lose the trajectory of this game. I think that the game as itself is so. It's setting off to basically like stratospheric levels of popularity that I don't think that adding a different option or whatever is going to change that. However, there is something that you could say about that as well, where you could say, you know what, how about we do this, but we do it 6 months down the road or something like that, not within the first month of release of the game.
Okay.
However, we also now like, you know what I mean? Like maybe do it later on, like do it after, you know, like after its basic like initial run when everybody's bought the game, they're playing the game, whatever. Then you see after 6 months what the popularity is like, and you say, okay, you know what, it's starting to wane a little bit or whatever. Some players are dropping off, doing other stuff, whatever. Let's add something else that we can maybe add a little more accessibility so that other people can start playing the game. We can bolster those numbers up. But seeing that it's on a meteoric rise right now, this game, right, and it seems to be squashing pretty much everything. Outside of Battlefield, is that if you look at it and you're like, well, you know, maybe now is a little bit too early to be introducing that different mode to kind of almost trip up that momentum a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But again, it's still just a square on the screen. Like, it's not going to affect anything. For example, like you're right there. You're a square, okay? You're the main game. I'm the other square. Just don't look at me. Just click on the Colt square. I mean, like, here, I'm going to play the regular game or whatever, and just have it in the options section and just kind of out of the way. I don't know. I'd like maybe there's this, Colt. I know this sounds kind of silly, but maybe they did get a lot of feedback from the community.
That's the other thing I was trying to remember. That's
the other thing. We don't know. We don't work for them. How do we know how many emails or messages or whatever have been, you know what I'm saying? Like they could have had hundreds of thousands of people saying, hey, I would really like a whatever, I don't think they would just do it for no reason.
Well, I mean, how many people they have playing, hundreds of thousands of people could be a small sliver of the amount of people that are playing, but how do you ignore that many people? The other part that I forgot that you reminded me of when you said that just now is that Embark said they originally, when they were making the game, it was just PvE. There was all these computer-controlled enemies, and they themselves, the developers, said the game was boring. Once they introduced real players who are like hand on the, trying to holster the weapon or pull it, it brought a dynamic you don't get in most games. Like at Battle Royale, you see person, you shoot them, no questions asked. But Arc Raiders, you see someone, you're like, did they see me? Are they gonna mess with me? Are they gonna cooperate? Are they gonna reach out and help? And I've seen all sides of that. And I've killed other people in the game and had a fantastic time. I've cooperated. That's the funny thing. The cooperation moments are so memorable, more memorable than the times when you take someone down. But
right.
I mean, I can sit here and tell you stories. I've played so many. I'll tell you a super quick version of a story. Red Wolf and I were playing, just him and I. Somebody shot at him while we're in a room. I went over and took out that person, and I said, Red, I'm going to res you. We have open mic. They can hear me. They're clawing on the ground. I'm like, Red, I'm going to res you. I want you to go over and knock her out. It was a female player character. I said, I want you to go knock her out. And so I'm resing. I'm patching him up. He goes over there, and he's like, you shouldn't have messed with us. We said we were friendly. Boom, boom, boom. And he kills him. Kills the girl. So I use all these words that YouTube's like,
what
don't
a
say
monster.
That. About 2 minutes later, somebody runs in the room and goes, did you guys just get attacked? And we're like, yeah. We were just looting. This person shot us in the back of the head. And he's like, oh, it sucks. I said, hey, there's some loot over there if you want to take it. He's like, cool, man, cool. And he goes over and checks out the body. And then Red and I walked off. And about 10 seconds later, we both caught on fire. The guy's like, she was my friend. Like that in the mic. And downed us both. And we laughed. At first, I was like shaking, like, what just happened? And then we were laughing as the mic cut off and we took us back to the lobby. So, yeah, I learned the hard way that I think they should just leave it alone. Dude. Just leave it alone. And
hey, fair enough. I was just, hey, listen, we're doing a talk show. I'm just presenting another side of the argument. That's it.
Right.
And I see BT Maverick, stop busting my chops, man. I said I'll get to it. Listen, I'm in the middle of working on my marinated review for Call of Duty. So everybody's like, well, came out Friday. Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing, and I talked about it today on Magcast. Let me just get this out of the way. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. What I do, for anybody who doesn't know, when I do my reviews, I don't think that doing a review by snorting 3 lines of Coke, drinking 2 energy drinks, not sleeping for a day and a half, and then blazing through a game and then rushing your review out in 72 hours is not an accurate representation of what a video game is all about. I think it's something that, like I said, no pun intended, you marinate on, you sit on, you sleep on it, you get back to it, you do it again, you play it again, you finish the campaign, roll credits, go back, play some of it again. You know what I mean? And think about it some more. I think that a game review should take at least 3 weeks, maybe a month. That's just me. And like I said, Call of Duty is going to be a big game. It's going to take me about 100 hours to get so. When I did my Battlefield 6 review, what was it, about a week and a half ago, I put in 100 hours in the game. All right? And then I do my review. And I'm doing the same thing for Call of Duty. So, yes, I will get back. I will get it. I only played about an hour and a half of Arc Raiders. But here's the thing, though. What I'm not worried about with Arc Raiders, but I am worried about with, like, Call of Duty, as we've already seen with their numbers. What's up, Snake? Snake! Sorry, he was in the chat. I just saw the name Snake in the chat. The thing with Arc Raiders, and I said something to the guys, I go, you know what? I got a good feeling about this game. They're like, what do you mean? I said, I have a feeling this game ain't going anywhere. And I don't think numbers are going to be dropping off or anything like that. I said, I have a feeling I could comfortably leave it for, like, even if I felt like it, 2 months. And it will still be rocking and rolling and populating. I even think a year from now, it's going to be. Sammy, thank you so much, buddy. This guy, Sammy Bazile there in the chat, he's been agreeing with everything I'm saying. Dude, go to my channel. I love people like that. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Come to the channel, though. The thing is that Arc Raiders feels like the kind of game that even a year from now, I ain't worried about a player base. I think it's cementing itself into the video game pantheon of big-time online multiplayer games that will not wane over time. I think it will continue to grow and blossom over that time, where I could just leave it and get back to it whenever I feel like it, and it'll still be there. Whereas, like, you look at a game like Call of Duty, even Battlefield to a certain extent, not now, but like, you're kind of scared because you're like, well, I want to get in there while things are hot. Because in a month from now, the only people left are going to be the hardcores, and they play for the whole year. They do the seasons and all that stuff and whatever. But like, the majority of people start dropping off after about a month. I don't feel that with this game. I don't feel that with Arc Raiders. So to answer your question, Maverick, I think that this is the kind of thing I could get back with. And just, you know what I'm saying? Just like,
yeah, I think it's got time. Like, I was worried.
I'm not scared of it dropping off.
Yeah, I was worried that I might give up on it in a couple weeks, and maybe I will. I don't know. But one of the reasons why I first was arguing about this PvE thing was I feel like gamers really tend to knee-jerk react, a gatekeeping mentality where, like, don't put in an easy mode in this game. Don't do this to the game or you'll ruin it. Or, like, a great example is, like, I hate when people use motion blur. It's like, why? You don't have to see it that way. You don't use motion blur. Why do you hate if other people like motion blur? I like it in racing games.
Yeah.
There's certain games where I actually leave motion blur on. There's most that I don't. And when people are like, I hate it when people use motion blur, it's like, it's not you. And if all these people go over and play the PvE mode, unless it's like everyone, which I wouldn't think it would be, but maybe it would. The last thing I'll say about this that really cements this argument about PvE and Arc Raiders ruining the game is that why not just go play PvE with less risk, get all the gear you want, and then when you feel like it, jump into PvP with good gear and take out the people who've had to fight against everyone else. I don't know if people would do that, but it's certainly an issue. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
To liken it to something else, I know you want to move on to another subject, but to liken it to something else, look at Battlefield's Portal, right? They have all these game modes and stuff in there that people like or don't like. I don't like that they're doing this or doing that, or I don't like that they're doing this. You don't have to go to Portal. You know what I'm saying? You just go, and if you want to play your campaign, go play the campaign. If you want to play the multiplayer, scroll your fat little thumbs down to multiplayer and just hit start. It doesn't affect anything else. You can avoid Portal entirely, or the community section, as it's called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's an argument for both sides to it. But anyways, either way, I'm excited to get into it. Like I said, I just got to get through this. Not just get through. I'm actually having fun. Even though it's dumb fun. But like, I'm going to get through the Call of Duty thing. My next multiplayer game will be Arc Raiders without question. Nothing else is going to get in the way because I've already said to the community, I'm not buying a single game until Resident Evil Requiem comes out. My backlog just keeps growing because this year has been a stunningly great year for gaming. And as a result, the backlog just keeps growing and growing and growing. I'm like, no, Mag, pump the brakes. Nothing major's coming out between now and February. Just chill. You got a lot to play. So Arc Raiders is on the list next for multiplayer, and I'm not buying anything else. So
that's what I'm trying to do because
Snow Dragon. Look at it. As soon as I said that, Snow Dragon goes, "We need to donate more games to for Mag to play." What am I, a circus monkey? I don't have time to do all these games. It's ridiculous. If I showed you guys the backlog, you'd faint. Mind you, you guys all have the same backlogs. So
yeah, I have a different problem. Like I shouldn't rush Arc Raiders because I don't know what my next new game is. I think it's something in 2026, unless I end up getting Ghost of Yote. Well, also on the show today, we're going to talk about the Game of the Year nominations and break down what they mean to us as fans and why stuff got there and what stuff didn't. Next, we're going to talk about the Steam machine. Hey, I didn't call it the Steam Deck. But before we talk about that, I know. Yeah. When we're making the videos, I'm like, I'll write Steam Deck. What's up to Red Wolf in the chat? He's been a great Arc Raiders partner out there in the wild. We've had some good moments. We've laughed and we've cried. Before we talk about the Steam machine, we're going to talk about what this means for Xbox, what this means for PC, what it means for next gen, because Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat in the chat said that it's really a this generation machine, the Steam machine. And I want to break into that and discuss it because there's a ton. But before we do, I want to talk about our incredible sponsor. And I thought I'd do something different today while Meg tells you all about it. I've actually got, I'm going to go to this over here. I brought the tumbler that you can order with me.
No way.
I'm going to mix up the flavor of the week while you talk about 4XP, and hopefully I don't spill.
Yeah, try not to spill it all over your equipment, and make sure you shake it really loud so people can't actually hear what I'm saying. But anyways, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a legendary year in gaming. And speaking of legendary, there's nothing more legendary than 4xpgaming.com, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Raspberry. That's the legendary flavor right there, okay? Right there. Colteastwood is going to mix them up right now, put it inside his tumbler. Blue Raspberry 4XP. It is called legendary. It is just like the XNC podcast is legendary. Colteastwood is legendary. The Mag slowly becoming legendary, even though I think I'm legendary in my own mind, but it doesn't matter. And then right in front of your face, ladies and gentlemen, look at that color. Look at that color right there. Look at that. Colteastwood is making legendary as we speak, and he is going to be drinking it as the show goes on.
When you go to 7-Eleven or whatever the equivalent is in Canada, what's the flavor of Slurpee that you always get?
Dude, we have 7-Eleven Canada. Where do you think we live in the Stone
Ages?
I thought
you guys would use the metric system or something. You always go for the legendary flavor, which is blue raspberry. And if I've got this top on correctly, it's got a shaker in there. See that little steel the spring in there? That's so that you get ultimate delivered.
That's Smurf. Now, here's something that people didn't know. 4XP Gaming actually extracts the blood from Smurfs. And this is where we get the color.
Yeah, because
anyways,
4XP
in all
is
seriousness,
run
look
by
at how cool
Gargamel.
that looks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what Gargamel does on a regular basis. Anyway, this is an outstanding flavor. And remember, just like Dark Helmet says, there's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star. But Lone Star did not make the blue raspberry.
Oh, man.
4xpgaming.com made the blue raspberry. This is a great flavor. It is tangy. It is sharp. And boy, will it ever get you going, ladies and gentlemen. 4xpgaming.com. Go visit the website. Go order some. And on top of that, we're going to have a link for you in the chat as well. And then you can get your hands on legendary blue raspberry. Colteastwood is shotgunning it down just like Mag on Tuesday night at Niagara Falls, except he's drinking blue raspberry. But it's wonderful. Look at him go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a link in the chat right now.
Yeah, if you go on their website, you can order the tumbler and the shaker.
That's
it
correct.
mixes it up so perfectly. Yeah, shout out to 4XP. Meg, let's talk about the Steam machine. This thing, like, we knew it was coming for a long time. I think it had been talked about for like a year. And it just drops on a Wednesday or whatever it was. My first initial reaction, there's a Koala content creator who's like, Colt did a console war. My first initial reaction was the mistake, because we're going to talk a lot about the power performance in this thing is not super impressive. And I kind of thought,
not really.
It's coming out in 2026, Mag. Like, is that okay to have a middle ground PC thing that's locked down? We're going to talk about that. I want to hear what your response was to the Steam machine and its announcement. I'm going to keep chugging. This is good.
Yeah, no, it is good. Here's the thing when it comes to the Steam machine. At first, when they announced it, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then when they started saying the specs, I still was like, oh boy, okay, here we go. You know why? Because I'm not a tech guy. So you know what ended up happening is that when I did Magcast, I had a bunch of the maggots come and reach out to me, and they're like, hey, dude, I broke down the specs and this and that, whatever, and it basically is it's in between the power of a Series S and a base PS5 / Series X. And I'm like,
yikes.
Yeah. And I'm
You're like, oh boy,
so,
here it comes.
And I'm like, oh. And that was kind of like anticlimactic in a way. And I'm like, all right. But then my mind changed again. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And I'm like, now that you've said that, and now that I understand what this power is all about, or lack thereof, you got to price this right now. You got to price this right as something under, you got to go under $500 at this point. I don't care what anybody says. People are going to say, oh, well, you know, this and that. But what are we talking about? If you have specs, now don't forget, at the beginning of this generation, okay, on the console side of things, hear me out. In 2020, 5 years ago, the Series X and the PS5 are more powerful than this machine is now, and they were priced under $500. They were $499 a piece. Okay? The digital PS5 was $399. Oh, no, excuse me. No, it was the other way around. $499 and $599.
The prices have changed.
Well, the thing is, but you're using the same parts. You're using the same tech. What are we talking about here? Just because the prices go up, we have to, like, you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I don't see it making any sense to price this over even if you went $600 on it, people are not going to buy it for that kind of
Let me educate you.
Go ahead,
Mr.
I know it's going to be between 600 and 700, guys. I see you in the chat. I can see it between 600 and 700. But the thing is, why would you do that? If you're gonna, I mean, you can have access to Steam games that you can't have. That the thing is, you're gonna get your AAA bangers and all that kind of stuff or whatever. You'll get that on Xbox and PlayStation. And what are you gonna get? The Steam games that are exclusive to it. You're gonna have a killer app to do that. But one killer app is not gonna sell you that entire system. Not for those prices. I think if you're gonna pay those prices, you might as well just stick to the consoles out right now.
I really don't think that games sell systems like people say they do. Like the Steam machine is not going to offer you any in-house first-party only available on this device at all. Like, unless you're talking Half-Life Alyx, which you can get on PC, there is not going to be a bespoke exclusive on the Steam machine. So this thing is going to sell purely off of its form factor and its name and its access to millions of games. What do you think?
Fair. You're not wrong. And I'm not downplaying the product. I'm just saying that if the price isn't right, it's going to be a situation because people are going to start saying, well, if this thing is power, yeah, you have access to those Steam games. Let's also not forget that Steam also has a ton of shovelware on it, on top of some fantastic games. They do have great games, but they have a lot of, this user-generated products out there that like ridiculous. Well, I'm not even going to say the names of those games. We'll get banned on YouTube for some of them. It's so ridiculous. But either way, the point is there are still a lot of great games that are available on Steam. They have great sales and all that stuff. But the thing is, if you're powered at that, let's say they do a big sale on Assassin's Creed Shadow. Okay, I'm pulling a name out of a hat.
Sure.
70% off Steam sale. Okay, you can get Assassin's Creed Shadow, and you're going to play it at 1080p. When you can actually play it at much better on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X with better performance, and you're paying almost the same price for the console.
I don't think people care.
I don't get it.
I don't think people care. People don't care about the people don't care about resolution. 70% of
right.
70% of the Steam hardware survey results show that this Steam machine is as powerful or more powerful than their current PC builds. People just play great games. I'm sure people are playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or Expedition 33 at 1080p, trying to hold it 60 on a slightly older hardware and having the time of their life.
And that's fine. But if they're already doing that now with current hardware, why would you buy more hardware?
I don't know. I mean,
like, you know what I'm saying? I see some other people saying, like, even Maverick was talking about, like, you can open it up to emulation and things like that or whatever. Okay, That's cute. But are you going to pay $600, $700 US to do that?
Now is the perfect time to ask the question, the Steam machine, what is it good for? Right?
That's Gabe.
Yeah.
That's the Gabe Cube.
That's the question.
Right now.
A games journalist, I won't name them because it'll sound like I'm dogging on them, but they were like, I still don't know who this is for. And I'm like, yeah, you do. You know who it's for. And I'll tell you the number one reason that this Steam machine exists. And I think it's to get your PC gaming setup right there in your living room on your bigger TV instead of just your monitor. Or to just sit down with this new controller, which I think is ugly, but probably feels cool. I'm betting that the Steam
with the pads and stuff.
Yeah, I'm betting that's a nice controller. I know it probably looks ugly. It may feel awkward, but I bet it's a nice piece of gear. I think the number one reason this thing exists is why they're making the Steam machine. Paris in the chat said just a moment ago,
Marcello!
It's a Marcello!
Marcello!
There will be partner variations of the Steam machines, so you can't undercut them. Same for Xbox Windows machines too in the future. So was that what I was going to read from Paris? I think it was. Yeah, I think that this is really what it's for. It's to get your gaming in the living room. And the reason why I want to ask you, because this is great. You and I can have a back and forth on this, because I feel like people always look at gaming from one lens. They're like, this is how it is. No one's going to do this.
No, God, no. I'm not like that. I
know you're not
a big game, but no, I'm not like that at all.
So I'm going to tell you what I have in my house.
Sure.
And then I want you to tell the fine people here what you have in your house. I have what's called a family room. And someone said that family rooms have not been a thing for 15 years. In the States, they call them family rooms or living rooms. Yeah. Or if you're slightly well off, you might call it a great room. So that's what I mean. When I say living room or family room, that's what this is for. So I have a big room in the middle of the house. The kitchen is behind it. We have my son's computer. It's kind of the family computer, but he's the only one to use it because we have phones. Family computer's in the corner. Well, the TV's on the wall. I have the TV mounted on the wall. This is the reason why I'm telling you all this. I mounted our 50-inch TV on the wall. I've got the hole in the back. I've got all the HDMIs and powers and everything running behind the sheetrock. It comes out behind the entertainment center, hung on the wall, no wires, no cables. It looks nice. That's where it is. I have all the cables, so I have multiple devices plugged into the entertainment center. If I wanted to PC game on that, I would have to drape an HDMI across from the family computer, or put the PC tower next to the entertainment center that's like decorative, right? And you can tell me what you have in a moment, but I'm assuming that if you're a family person, or if you live with a girl, or you and your boyfriend or whatever, you have kind of a nice TV setup, and nobody wants your rainbow unicorn, like gay looking computer, like flashing colors everywhere, right? Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Like, especially like a wife or a mom doesn't want your rainbow computer sitting next to the entertainment center. So I said all that to say that's why I think that the Steam machine is so important, because someone could say this cool looking box, without even worrying about faceplates, like this still on itself, you can put that next to any Voss or whatever, and I think it would be just fine.
Right.
So tell us, Mag, like what's your setup like upstairs?
It will be, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, like when they did the trailers and everything else, I did the video about it, and I talked about it. And what do they keep doing in the video? They kept panning the camera over to your desk, and it had this beautiful, nice white desk, and like you had your monitors and everything. And then of course you had this little box in the corner, just lit up so nicely and very elegant looking, and everything else. It was done like that on purpose for two reasons. One, because you want it to look nice, aesthetically pleasing for the trailer, but it also gets in your head going, that would look really nice in my fill in the blank, my computer room, my TV room, my family room, my whatever. Now all my gaming happens down here in the studio. Okay, my arcade is back here, and then the arcade is here, and then in front of me, I've got a separate table over there with all the consoles and my audio interface and all that stuff down here. And I've got my 3 monitors here. I've got my PC is under the desk. Well, at least the big part of it. It's under the desk and all that jazz, whatever. But upstairs, I've got a family room / TV room, same as you. And I've got a 70-inch TV in the wall with not in the wall, but like on the arm, whatever, just mounted.
Okay, yeah,
and
you
it's
have
mounted up there. I've got a sound bar underneath. And then the sound bar underneath, what we did is we installed a. It was very simple. Just drilled it right into the 2x4s, into the studs. Just a black shelf, like short, only about 10 inches like wide, and then about 3 feet long. And then we just drilled that right into the studs, and we put all the little things on there, right? Like
decorative
like
stuff,
a media player.
Okay.
No, like stuff that attaches to the TV directly above it. So we have that underneath. We got the sound bar there, and then we have like our media player, our little like what the hell is it called? Little bell box, whatever, cable box. You know, if I want to watch like live sports or something, that kind of thing. And then on the side, because it's too heavy and they're too big, we've got the consoles.
They keep saying, Mag, stop bragging. I literally bragged longer than Mag did.
What are you talking about? I just have a TV on the wall.
Mag's like, we have this very elegant knick-knack thing, and I keep the Ark of the Covenant.
It was like a
on
$10 shelf. Listen, look at this chat. You guys are ridiculous right now, especially you, game adaptation newscast. Mag low key brag. No, he doesn't. It was a $10 shelf from IKEA, and I drilled it into the studs with screws that I had sitting in the basement. Holy crap!
the brag.
My God. For God's sake. $10 shelf. Look at him brag. He must have a Lamborghini in the garage.
Well, keep in mind, audience,
IKEA shelf.
When Mag says $10 shelf, he means $10 American, $700 Canadian. So it was a very pricey shelf.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, of course. No. We just have a regular setup, a regular TV, a TV there or whatever else, and then in the corner we got the console. Oh, she's got the PS5 over there.
Can I ask you a semi-personal question real quick?
Sure, of course.
Would your wife be okay if you're like, I want to put a gaming PC next to the family TV so I could play?
She probably wouldn't care, but like she'd be like, I don't want to see this gigantic thing, because those boxes are big.
Yeah, my case
right?
is
so
like,
it'd be like, I don't know, it's kind of like the casing itself and whatever else, and plus all the wires and the nonsense and everything else. I don't want to deal with all that crap in my family room. So in that respect, I would absolutely say that yes, maybe that Steam box would be there, because like you have this elegant little box just sitting there on the shelf. I could put it on my $10 IKEA shelf, and I could put it right on there because it's not a big unit, it's not heavy. Pause. And then, but like a PS5, if I put the PS5 in there, it would literally break the whole damn shelf. So that's off to the side. And then I could
what about
put
the wood
box
grain?
there, and it would be fine.
What about the wood grain face? Was that something that would work in your house, or would you stay with like the all black cube?
Oh, I just go with the all black one. That looks cool.
I think it does too. Paris in the chat says Xbox is dead. Long live the Gabe Cube. Yep. Yep, absolutely.
Marcello, why you not finish your lasagna? I'm making you lasagna all day. You go out and you talk about Xbox. And you don't come home, Marcello, to come eat the dinner with your family. Your family is sitting here waiting for you. And here is Marcello all over the world talking about Xbox.
For an Italian, your Italian old woman voice is not very good. You need to work on it.
What are you talking about? That's how every single old Italian person talks. Every single old Italian mother, grandmother, all talk like that, except for my grandmother.
Oh, man. So,
but listen, Paris is Italian now, for forever. So that's all there is to it.
He's been adopted into the family. Yeah. It's a Sosa says you sound like Marge Simpson. Italian Marge
That's what they all sound like.
Yeah.
Go to an Italian house and call me and tell me I'm wrong. Anyways, listen, it's a great little device, but for me, I've never really had any interest in like the Steam game thing. I don't think that investing another $700 US. Let's not forget US. That's like $1,000 Canadian. Listen, man. Regardless of what some of the people think in the chat, I'm not going to spend all that kind of money just to have something that just, to me, is superfluous for my needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and my worry is that, I mean, I play a lot on a PC that is quite a bit more money. Colt Bragwood, but you know, you could put that thing in the other room and just pick up your Steam games right where you left off. And Destin's in the chat. I've been watching Destin's coverage on the Steam machine and the supposed death of Xbox because a PC is coming out again, like PC Part 3. Destin's done some really good coverage. While he's in the chat, I would like him to write his prediction for the low model, which, if I remember correctly, the low model would be a 512 gigabyte, which is a Series S storage, half of a terabyte Steam machine without a controller, because I think they're going to sell you one, just the box, just use whatever controller you want if you don't want to order the Steam one, or you get your own, whatever. Destin says $499. I'm thinking it might be a little. I would say $499 as well, Destin, but I'm pushed more into the $600 mark. Like $599 is the base price because of the price
512 gigs, dude.
Well, hold on. I didn't hear what you just said, but now that I think Xbox has overhiked their prices, so you have to look at the base digital PS5, which, chat, can you write real quick in the chat what the price of a digital PS5 is right now in the U.S., in U.S. dollars? Paris said,
what's
$5.99, and he put a koala emoji up. Destin says 500 to 700 in my opinion is their range, but parts are dirt cheap. Okay, so what were you gonna say, Mag?
There you go. No, I was gonna say I agree with what Destin said. Like I just read it, $499 to $699. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I'm just
thinking
then if
600 wants to be on a budget on that. $499 I think is a sweet spot for something like that.
Like if you had to put the number down on The Price is Right, what number would you write? And don't say $1.
No, exactly what Destin said. I'm saying I'm agreeing with him 100% on that.
Put down your one number.
What do you mean one number?
Like when you're on Price is Right, you got to put down your number. What's your one guess? It punches in on that little.
He says $499. I'm saying $500. Okay, I went up $1. Just
up $1. Okay, 501.
Yeah, up $1, but 501. Yeah, 502, 503. Anyway,
would you be wearing the Kiss Me Bob shirt?
Saying it's $499. Okay, listen, $499. Sorry, say again.
Would you be wearing the Kiss
hammers down his
the Kiss Me Bob shirt when you're on Price is Right?
Yeah, right. $499 is a good. I think that's a good price point for a 512 gig. I think that's a good price point. 512 makes sense. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, for $500, that's an accessibility box as opposed to a powerhouse or a performance machine. It's an accessibility box. It gives you access to that ecosystem on top of other things, whatever. But it makes the ultimate sense to be somewhere around $499. That I agree with.
I'm starting to come around.
And that's what I said at the beginning of the show, dude. When we talked about it, I think that makes the ultimate sense. $499. Yeah, I don't think you can't start climbing up into what the console prices are now, especially Xbox these days, for crying out loud. But yeah,
I want to retract. I want to retract my guess because Destin goes, it's $499, bro. The PS5 digital is $499. Series S is $400. and it's in between those two models. And he says the Switch 2 is $449. And like I had to correct myself, the Xbox consoles are overhyped. They're overhyped because of their incompetence to sell hardware across the globe. So I'm just gonna mold back into what you guys think. Maybe it will be $500. Yeah.
Then that is a good price. I think that's a good price. I think it's
fantastic.
I said, not only is it an accessibility box, it's also an accessible price point for a lot of consumers if they're interested in that. That's something that you won't have to think about as long and hard, as like you get into the $600, $700 US range. That's when you start thinking, okay. Because like, for example, when I bought the PS5 Pro, just to put it in perspective for you, I bought the PS5 Pro here, $700 US. It was $1,200 Canadian, almost $1,300 with tax. Okay, that's a lot of dude. That's a big chunk of change for a console. Okay, not only is that because of the exchange rate, there's also seems to be this magical tax fairy that comes over and sprinkles extra money on everything that comes to Canada. You don't think I know that? When I go buy a Hallmark card, I've been called many things. You go to Hallmark and I see a card. It's $3.99 US on the back, and then underneath it says $10.99 Canadian. I'm like, that's not even an exchange rate. Why do I get charged an extra $3 for that? There was that soccer game that came out a little while ago. I reached out to the devs about that, by the way, and they were dicks about it. And they I won't tell you what they said, but they were a little snarky about it. I said, you remember that soccer game that came out a little while ago? It was like $30, whatever the hell it was called. Someone in the chat will remember the name of it. Anyway, they bothered me. So I got out to them and I said, wait a minute. I said, with the exchange rate that it currently is, and even if you did like a broad range of several months, I said, the game actually works out to X amount of dollars. I said, but why are you magically charging Canadians an extra $30? It was $28 to be exact. Why are you charging Canadians an extra $28 for a digital game, even with the exchange rate being as it is? It is bullcrap, and that's what we have to deal with up here. I'm like, I asked a simple question, and I said, why are we paying an extra $28 on top of the U.S. Canadian exchange rate? Can you answer that to me? And they, I won't say what they said, but it was a little bit snarky. And and ever since then, I'm like, well,
annexed with us. Is that what they said?
Not buying your game. Yeah, Matt, hey, Rush fan in the chat. He knows all about it. He's from up here too, man. He goes,
he likes Rush. Yeah. Did they say, well, if you would have annexed with us, we wouldn't have this problem? Like that? Yeah, probably. By the way, I just learned that word 2 days ago.
Yeah. Meet the cheaters saying they robbing you. They are robbing us. Yeah. Anyway, so on top of all that, if you, like I said, back to the Steam machine, if you start crawling up into the 600-700 mark, yeah, it'll probably sell well in the US, or at least decently in the US. But outside of the US, I know the majority of sales and whatever else, the consumerism in the United States is basically unmatched than any other part of the world. But when you start getting out to the other parts of the world, people are not going to buy these things for this much money. I could tell you right now, even when we get to the ROG Ally X and all that, I told you what I told you. I did the Destin thing. Okay? Yeah. I did the Destin thing. I went to Best Buy. Okay? I talked to them and whatever else. I'm like, hey, what's going on with these? The guy's like, they're not selling. It was like $1,700. Like, it's like, who's going to buy this?
Oh, they weren't?
Right? And they're like, well, no, they're just sitting there.
Stein says it's $1,300 Canadian for the X.
Yeah.
So maybe you were a little higher than the actual price. Well, after taxes, it's close to like $1,700 or something. That's not that much in taxes.
ROG Ally X, $1,300 Canadian. Okay. So let's just see right now. Let's see.
Yep. Look it up.
Not 1,700. Yeah, he's right. 1,469.
With tax? Okay.
With tax.
Okay.
In Ontario, because we pay higher taxes. Let's go to bestbuy.ca, and I'm going to check right now. I'm going to actually check and see what the prices are of the ROG Ally X.
Just hit the purchase button. That's big yellow.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah. Whoops. I tripped and sold it. Or bought it.
Yep.
Destin says the new Xbox console is going to be too expensive. I agree. I think it's I think the baseline price for the next Xbox console will be $1,000. I think it will be. I broke that down quite a few times, and we know general specs for it. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But the first thing I want to ask you, Mag, is I want you to give an argument why. I'll make you the bad guy. Why is the Steam machine the death of Xbox?
What? Who the hell said that?
A lot of people are saying it, but I mean, just think what could it introduce as far as
you're gonna get me in trouble now. Now are people gonna think that's my stance. They're gonna be like, that Mag.
Let me timestamp it first.
That, and the other.
Yeah. Mag is an a-hole at 37 minutes. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, timestamp that. Okay, so what you want me to talk about how people are saying that it's the death of Xbox?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and just however you want to do it. I thought maybe we should have a discussion about why it is or why it isn't. We really should. It's kind of important.
I see some people in the chat. They're like, there's so many people already have said that. Get ready to clip Mag. Yeah, clip me out of context. That seems to be the very popular thing to do with podcasters out there, by the way. Clip people out of context. It's not going to be the death of Xbox. What it is going to be is, as it stands right now, are you talking about in reference to the Project Mag that's coming out in 2 years? Or are you talking about the consoles now? Because if you're talking about the consoles now, the consoles are not selling now, so there really was there's no comparison in that respect. Now, I think what you're getting at is that the fact that it's going to be like a PC/console hybrid kind of situation that you could put in your living room and whatever and be able to access, the PC ecosystem. Is that what you're referring to? And by the way, it's Project Mag from now on.
Right, and it's earlier. Like, keep in mind, it's coming out a year and a half earlier than Xbox.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no. Sorry. No, that's not fair. By the time it actually comes out, you're right.
I think it's May.
I was associating.
It's May for the Steam machine. So, yeah, a year and a half, whatever. Nobody's doing the math. We're doing metric time, which is what you guys use in Canada. So,
right. It's
March.
Is
it March?
Yeah, you're right. So somewhere around a year and a half difference. I think by that point, if someone's going to buy this machine in a year and a half from now, this is going to be a far more powerful, more capable machine that's coming out. It's going to be for a more discerning customer at that point. So I don't think that you're attracting the same group of people. I don't think people are going to go from a $499 box from Steam and then immediately jump to $1,000 powerful console unless you already have that kind of money that you're going to be spending that. But at that point, most of those people are that spending that kind of money are in the PC realm already, and they're not interested in a pre-made, PC console hybrid sort of situation. So I think you're actually dealing with two different crowds. Does that make any sense? Like what I'm trying to say here?
No, I think
I'm trying to get it out of my brain.
There's
properly.
not a lot of crossover. No, that's well said.
Okay, so I'm thinking that in that respect, because there's going to be some pretty distinct price differences, I think, and differences in power, that you're going to be attracting a different group of people, right? The people that seek power and obviously are able to afford price point, those are people that are in that more hardcore community, the people that are attuned to what we talk about, what, the shows that we watch and YouTube and everything else like that. I think that this Steam box, yes, it'll be attractive to certain people in the gaming community, but I think this is a more casual device that I think will sort of will be marketed more towards the masses, as opposed to, let's say, the 5% of the 15% hardcore who will go out and buy $1,000 console hybrid experience, right? So I think it'll be two different people. Now it's not to be said that the hardcore or whatever, the gaming community, are not going to buy this. They are going to buy this because, let's face it, people love tech, right? They love tech. And this is almost, like I said, a year and a half before in difference in terms of launches. So there's a long time. Right? There's a long time to say, I could buy that Steam Deck. And then I'll worry about Xbox in a year and a half from now, and I'll think about it. I'll think about this Project Mag and see what the specs are and whatever else, and see if it's actually worth it. Or do I save that money, save that $1,000 and put it towards a PC, and maybe I'll start migrating to the PC community, which a lot of people have already done. And a lot of hardcore Xbox players have already migrated, present company included, you, not me. Have migrated over to the PC realm, because they're like, well, I'm spending all this money here, and you started to slowly build up your PCs and get better parts and whatever else and better graphics cards, and now you guys are running these monster rigs, and I don't see you going back to go buy a $500 Steam machine. I think you might buy it for fun.
I have a factoid.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that, like, my PC's really super expensive, but it's production. I use it for work and YouTube.
Well, that's
and
true
streaming,
too, yes.
everything, and it's fantastic for gaming because it's already there doing that. I looked up while you're talking about this, like, are people going to drop down to a $500 like closed box? Are they going to upgrade to the new one? This is something important to think about, because what I looked up says 60 to 70% of PC gamers are preferring or playing on a pre-built PC. Now, a pre-built PC, you can upgrade it for sure. Like, absolutely. Like, the Steam machine, you can't upgrade it. But I love when people have this argument, because I've been around PC gaming long enough to know that I don't know how many people actually upgrade their PC. If you build a decent one, you use it for like 5 or 6, maybe 7 years, and you're like, it's time for a new one. Instead of popping it open and slotting in something or pulling out a GPU and replacing it. There's a lot to it. I won't even get into it super nerdy with PC stuff, but PC gamers know, like, hey, upgrade your GPU, it'd be awesome. Oh, wait, is my power supply going to support all this? Or do I have the right type of this? Like, you can look it up, but sometimes it's like, let's just write it out. And I've done this many times. Let's just write out this PC, in a couple years, it's time to build a new one. So if you buy a Steam machine or the Xbox Mag, that thing will be locked. You can't upgrade it, but man, you're going to get phenomenal performance out of the next Xbox PC, because it's going to be around $1,000. And I've got videos. I'm going to make a new one, hopefully this week, comparing all we know about the PS6 and the new Xbox. Hopefully I'm going to work on that in the next couple days.
That's the OnlyFans video, or is a gaming video?
It'll just be like footage of my foot over and over. Yeah. I know everyone says this, oh, look at the specs, it's amazing, but I mean, the numbers don't lie. The next generation consoles, like, why are we whining about? The PS5 and Series X games look and run so awesome. So just imagine.
I'm not whining about anything. I'm happy with that performance that I'm getting.
I am too. And I get better things out of the PC, but it's like 3 times more money, or even more than that sometimes. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's happening at that point is you're focusing on a very, very minute group of customers when you start getting into that upper echelon of expensive PCs and expensive PC parts and power, whatever else.
You mean like the performance chasers?
The performance chasers.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a much more minute community. A lot of people think that PC, I mean, this is the age-old adage where people keep thinking, well, there's 150 million PC players and on this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but out of those things, maybe 25 million have something that's actually capable of doing what, let's say, Project Mag is going to do, or even the Steam machine at that point. The majority of people have potatoes. And then you have to think about that. And then, of course, you just said, 60 to 70% have pre-builds, and they're probably not very good. Right. So like there's a lot of that going around. So when you talk about this Steam machine versus, let's say, Project Mag, it's going to be a vast difference in terms of the customers that are going to be attracted to those different products. So that's why I don't associate them at all together. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get at. And I think that the power and price point are going to be 2 different things that, like I said, are going to attract different people. Now, it doesn't mean that the performance chasers, as you say, are not going to go buy a Steam box for fun, because I know a lot of people who just go out and buy stuff just to have it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to go buy it. It's cute.
Like when they see the Steam machine,
I won't really care.
Yeah, they totally are. I hate to drag my friends into it, but I love their reactions to this stuff. Your so-called friends. Yeah. They're like, oh, like, why? Like, it's not power. And then they come around and they're like, because I did too. I'm like, I don't know if I'll buy a Steam machine, but I kind of love that it exists. That it could be around $600. It looks super cool. Like, if I own one, that light would totally be blue for like my colors. And I would use it as an install light. Like I just love all those things. And I'm happy for other people that look at the Steam machine. I'm just a different kind of person. When people are like, I'm excited about that, I'm like, dang, it is so nice to see people excited about stuff. Because people, it is good, isn't it? Because people just crap on everything.
Well, you see, the other problem is, too, and a lot of people make this correlation, which doesn't exist, by the way. I'd like to point that out, that when we talk about something or we criticize or we pull apart something, because we're on a talk show, you have to talk about stuff, right? So we try to cover as many angles as possible. A lot of people misinterpret that as we're crapping all over this or we're crapping all over that. I'm like, we're not. We're just breaking it down, and we're basically almost in a stream of consciousness way. We're trying to express all the different, the different angles that we could possibly conceive when we're talking about a specific product. right? And because of that, people misinterpret that as like crapping all over it. I'm actually super happy this thing exists. I think it's great for the market. I think it's great for consumers. And then, well, we'll find out more about it when they give the official price and everything else. The release month I know about, and then there's something else that's going to be in there that's also going to kind of sweeten the deal. I know Destin knows. I know that's going to sweeten the deal when it comes to the Steam machine. Some certain
a real reason to get it, right? Yeah.
A real reason to get it, sure. But the thing is, let's face it, a lot of people that already own PCs are not going to go run out and buy a Steam machine to be able to do that because, Destin,
a game, Destin. You know what he's talking about.
He goes, yes, there you go. Yeah. You know,
for the people who are listening to XNC on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or other podcast platforms, we have people in the chat giving their guesses on what Mag is trying to be vague about. Then he was really just cluing in that Half-Life 3 actually exists and Steam plans to probably launch the game with their system. Everyone else will be able to buy it who's on the PC platform, but it'll be like a big ushering in, like, here's the Steam machine and here's what Half-Life 3 looks on it. And when you were saying earlier, Mag, like some people have potato PCs or middle PCs that are in the hardware survey. Knowing what I know, it's like all those PCs are great. Like they run high resolution, 60 FPS or higher. You can customize stuff. And we live in an era where almost everyone, except for Nintendo Switch players, can get excellent, fantastic performance in video games. And I was being a jerk there for a second on purpose. But the one last thing I'll say about the Steam machine before we move on is that...
Harris.
What'd he say? He said, just say it.
Look at what he's saying. He's bold. He's bold typing tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm wearing a gnocchi shirt, okay? We're brothers in arms tonight, okay?
Oh, right. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say the one thing about the Steam machine is something that Paris keyed in was that this will usher in the baseline for PC gaming in the living room. And I'm glad he said that because I was trying to make that point earlier.
Yeah.
But it also means that you may have companies like Lenovo or Razer or Samsung or Asus. The ROG will probably have their own similarly affordable priced PC console hybrid, because right now the ROG that makes the ROG Ally, they have a $2,500 PC thing that's like this big. Like it looks like a mini PS5. Right. It's super expensive and super powerful. So this will usher in an affordable gaming experience that you can put on your desk or in your living room. I think it's we didn't even talk about how it's going to kill Xbox. I think the one thing is that
we kind of did. We kind of did. It's not going to kill Xbox. It's a different product. It's offering similar things, but it's on a different level. That's like trying to say, never mind. There's no point. We're just
it's just frustrating that Xbox has wanted to do this for a while. Back when they were making the Xbox One X, like they wanted to meld Windows 10 together with everything and the second screen and all this stuff, and it's taken them so long to get here, and Steam totally beat them to the punch. But what was it? The saying was, you don't have to be first, you just have to be best. And it's the reason why a lot of your favorite products are as popular as they are. You just make a really great device, but it's going to be hard to beat Steam because Valve's amazing and their OS is incredible. And Microsoft knows that Windows has to compete with a very slim and trim, really well-performing operating system. So I hope this kicks Microsoft in the butt, because they sit there, they don't do anything when it comes to Windows.
Yeah, but they got a long time, though. They got a nice window to really sit back and do some R&D. And you know what I mean?
I talked to someone behind the scenes that works on the Xbox PC app. And I've been on the PC app more than ever lately. And they told me that the issues that I deal with my headset connecting to party chat, and he said, if you think it's crazy, because I said, I was telling him, I have multiple audio. I have my TV audio, I have my headset audio, I have my earbuds, I have my mic, I have my camera. They're all audio interfaces. And I said, it should know when I tell it this is what I want, it should know, and it should work in party chat. And he said, you think that's bad? Imagine Windows looking at all of your devices and everyone else's devices from totally different manufacturers. He's like, Windows doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, can't they talk to people in Windows and have it fixed? He said, it's a big problem. So Windows has a long ways to go. I want to grab a couple of supers here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit the like button. We appreciate you so much. Yudana Kizada, who's a channel member and a great mod, says, working late, miss you frickers, he says.
Thank you.
Cukes Max, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Appreciate all of you guys for being here and hanging with Mag and I. He says, hey, sorry to go back to last week's topic, you guys, but Colt, for the love of God, stop playing Fallout 4 for the 100th time.
Thank you very much. Can you play something else, Colt? I got a backlog of brand new games I can't even get to, and this guy's still farting around with Fallout 4. Jesus, he reminds me of the guys who's still playing, what's that stupid PC game everybody's still playing? It was nominated for award, the shooter game that looks like it's made out of popsicle sticks and stick figures.
Shooter game.
Not popsicle Crossfire sticks. 2. What the hell is it called?
Oh, yeah.
The hell's the name of that stupid game?
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, see, I forgot the name of it. Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. Okay. Team Fortress 2 was made from it. Yeah.
You look at Battlefield 6. They're taking down buildings. Like, there's a dude in a building, and I'm like, you know what? That guy's really starting to piss me off. I just, like, take the building down and let it land on top of him. These guys are still playing with stick figures with Counter-Strike 2 with $5,000 PCs. Stop playing Fallout 4. Chat,
man, Counter-Strike looks way better than you remember. They actually upgraded a long time ago, like 10 years ago.
Dude,
but he says, you have a ROG Ally X. You got to download the GOG version, play Fallout London on there. I had the Fallout London version installed on my PC last year. It wasn't clicking with me, so I didn't finish it. But, yeah, I know. I was actually playing Fallout New Vegas on that last night for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
I love it.
Chad is getting mad. I was talking about Counter-Strike. Guys, I'm just messing around. We're having some laughs.
I have friends who will die over Counter-Strike.
It ain't no Battlefield 6, okay? I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
But anyhow. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm watching it right now. It actually looks pretty decent.
No, I did actually.
Looks better than Black Ops.
We're going to talk about that too. Cukesmax, I did stop playing Fallout 4. I was talking about last week how I expressed my disappointment for Fallout 4's launch, and I can't say what happened. But I was not the only one, and now for the past 7 days, Max, everyone has been beating that game into the ground for being a buggy mess, and now Bethesda knows it. Someone should apologize to me. That's all I'm going to say. I just want to apologize. I just want to say, hey, sorry if that came off a little harsh. That's all I want. It would be nice, because I'm like, hey, I'm just trying. I have a few followers. It'd just be nice if people understand that I want better, and people need to know, hey, if you're looking at buying this, beware. Thank you, Max. I appreciate you. Boner Jams with the $5 super chat says, gosh, he's so right. He says, I recently saw Colt handing out Blue Chews to the local seniors at the Backgammon Club. Just doing the Lord's work. Happy Monday, boys.
Hey, man. I'm not going to say it on this show. Not on this show. On my channel, I'd say it, but I'm not going to say it. We'll just leave it at that, folks.
Yeah, check out Under the Bus podcast on Wednesdays. Yes. What were you going to say, Mag?
For people asking in the chat, keep your eyes peeled. Was Mag there? Yes, I live in the retirement home now, Destin. People asking about information about this Half-Life 3 situation. Yeah, it certainly exists. And not only does it exist, it's look for it in the next day or so. You might see something. Maybe.
Yeah, I know people are expecting. I think people might be expecting that to get its big announcement at the very last thing at the Jeff Keighley Game Awards thing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So maybe.
No, I don't think so.
You don't need Jeff Keighley for that announcement. You could literally write it in the inside of one fortune cookie at Panda Express.
Keep your eyeballs peeled sometime this week.
Okay. You heard it first from Insider Mag.
I'm not an insider. I never said I drink and I know things. That's it. That's it. I'm not an insider. I don't want that. I don't want that kind of smoke, and I don't want that cloud. I've already dealt with that nonsense. No, I just, whatever.
It does suck. Ron G 2665. Thank you for the 5. Says Witcher 4 trailer still says unannounced game GPU. I know,
we're gonna get it.
Still unannounced. Okay. Do you guys think it's the RTX 6090? I don't know how that works when they partner with NVIDIA. Maybe they are doing like a 6000 series card. And they don't know which one it's going to be, so maybe. But I will tell you, that if people say it's not going to look like that, it's not going to look like that, it probably will. I think it's going to look pretty close. BT Maverick, I got to hang out with him in Arc Raiders and chat, which is really cool because I've seen his name for 1,000 years, and it was cool to actually get to chat with him. He says, what are your thoughts on that Steam controller? Mag, I said my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the Steam controller?
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is with this pad business? It looks ridiculous and this and that. But then someone educated me on it, and they're like, actually, Mag, it's because it's going to mimic the keyboard, like a keyboard mouse thing, like the mouse pad. And I was like, oh, right. Ooh. Because a lot of games that are developed on the PC, it has like the mouse control, right? It has the cursor and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, all right. Then I think that they did an okay job with that, like the way it is and where it is. I can't see that being used. Like, I can't see the implementation in the middle of a game trying to figure that out with your thumbs. That would be utterly ridiculous. I think at that point, you just have to utilize the controller, the thumbsticks, and that's all there is to it. If that was the case, if it was just a design choice, you would probably want to avoid it looking like a PS5 controller, like the DualSense with the pad in the middle. But I mean, it would work the same way if you're just navigating menus and such. I could see that you just do the pad in the middle. But obviously, there's going to be some kind of in-game integration for certain games that are going to utilize those pads, right?
Like petting an alpaca or
something.
I
understand. Yeah. I understand why they did it. But at the same time, I'm looking at it, I'm going, it looks cheap. Just to be fair. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I think it
doesn't look too good.
I think it looks expensive. It looks okay. I just don't know if it'd be comfortable. Yeah, I don't think it looks cheap. I think it looks expensive. I just don't think I would like how it feels. And if you were going to use your thumbs or a pointer finger to navigate a menu, right. I'm like, I feel like it'd just be just as easy to use your thumbs on the thumbsticks.
Well, like for example, like Assassin's Creed games. Like Assassin's Creed games in the menus, Borderlands utilizes it as well. Like when you're sitting, you know how many times I've sat there when I start a game and it has continue, and I'm pressing the thing, I'm going, dude, continue. Yeah. What is the problem? And I'm like, oh, right. And then you look and you see the cursor's like 1.5 feet away. And I'm like, oh, right, it's got a cursor menu. I have no problem navigating that with my thumbstick and going over to the continue and press the button.
I would just rather have flip. But
right, exactly. Like just use the directional pad, right, up and down, left and right, whatever, or use the thumbstick. But it's funny, whenever I navigate menus, I only use the directional pad. I always have. Like, you know, when you go to the settings of a game or whatever, you pause. Yeah. I always use the directional pad, not the analog thumbstick.
Because you don't want to go down and then you're pushing to the right. I do it all the time. Or sometimes one of my controllers has a little bit of stick drift, and I'm trying to go down. Well, I'm playing Fallout, and it does that. I'm like going down, and then it flips over to the.
What's that? You're playing what? Sorry, say that again for everybody in the
Resident
back.
Evil 8. Yeah, that was playing.
See, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Colteastwood needs an intervention.
Hold on a second.
We need to stop. Like first it was Starfield.
Todd Howard, please. Could I get Todd Howard, please?
What's he gonna do? He's in the Keebler elf tree.
Sorry, are you in the tree right now? Elf. Yeah, I'm on with Mag. Oh, you've never heard of him. That's right.
Oh, you never heard it? Oh, he's heard of me. He definitely knows who I am because I know they get pissed. They're like,
I can't believe you're talking to me about an intervention. The guy who's played Resident Evil so many times that the devs email you and tell you to stop.
No, but the thing is, once I get the 1,000 out of 1,000 or I get the platinum trophy, I don't go back to it. I have not gone back and played Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, or 5. I've platinumed them, and on the Xbox, I've gotten 1,000 out of 1,000 on those games. I'm not going back to them. It's done. But you have a serious illness. You keep going back to that game.
I'm going to play it right now while we're doing the show.
Can you imagine I can't even imagine Colt and I actually getting into a real argument. We'd both start laughing 10 seconds in. You know that, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine playing a game while I was doing a podcast.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Here's Destin. I was thinking of trying Fallout 4. I'm just leaving.
You know what? Fallout 4 is... I'm leaving too.
Oh my God. That's it. We're both walking off the show. It's done.
Fallout 4, I used to think, oh man, I just wish it was so much better. Then when I go, I like it. It's a good game. I already talked. Get back here, both of you. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's the part of the show.
You face each other and you talk it out.
Yeah, that's right. And with your shirts off. Meg, I didn't want to do this on the show, but we have to. We got to talk about how Call of Duty is an absolute piece of crap. right now.
Yeah. It's fun crap, but it's crap.
Wait, before we do that,
okay, sure. Go
Danny Passion, are you planning on finishing Expedition 33?
Danny Passion sent me a super chat twice, by the way, in the last week saying, Mag, you got to finish Expedition. I'm like, dude, I'll get to it. And then he sends me another super chat today. He goes, Mag, did you finish it? I'm like, oh my God, Danny, slow down. I'll get to it. I promise. I promise.
I'm going to upset dozens of people.
Okay.
Dozens. I played half of Expedition 33.
Right.
I'm not very smart. I got to a point where I was kind of lost, or I felt like I was meandering too much. This is going to really expose me. Just like when I had to admit I've never played Half-Life 2. I've only played like an hour or so on the orange box.
I can tell you,
like,
I've played neither one of them, so...
Right. Yeah, you and I were both like, yeah. Des goes, Call of Duty's Game of the Year. It could be. The year is still young. Expedition 33. I could not finish that game and still be happy with what I played. I'm sorry if that offends people. I really liked what I played. I got to a point where I'm like, I kind of had enough. And then there was a couple other games. I think there's a game I was reviewing, a couple games that I had to review in the middle of Expedition. And I never went back. And I look back at my time in Expedition 33. The combat was fantastic, but I kind of had my fill. I think it's great. And I think it's going to win Game of the Year. And I think it totally deserves it. And I can say that, and I probably never need to finish it. I may someday, but I'm happy with where I'm at right now. And I don't often just leave a game hanging like that, but all of that turn-based combat, after, I don't know, 300 fights, I think I'm good. Isn't that weird?
You know, it's funny that you say that. And that's why people are like, well, Mag, why didn't you finish it? And I'm like, it came out at a very unfortunate time where I was also in the middle of doing 3 reviews. And 2 of them happened to be on Xbox. I was doing a review for South of Midnight, and I was working on the review for Doom the Dark Ages. And that was all at the same time. Well, not all at the same time, but it was within the window of when I finally got around to start playing Expedition 33. However, what I did play, I'm 3/4 through the game now. Okay, so I'm only got about a quarter of the game left. And I had to go do those other time-sensitive things, semi-time-sensitive items, even though, whatever. Anyway, the point is that when I was playing it for that 3/4 of the game, I was mesmerized. I just was like, this is incredible. I just had like my mouth open, like, oh my God, this is fantastic. The story was really gripping. The music was wonderful. The environments were great. I really enjoyed that. That underwater part, when you're walking around and they got like the floating ships and like you're under the sea, right? Under the sea and all that kind of stuff. And
I loved all that stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I never should have given it up.
I love the combat, but again, I got distracted. And then listen, if there's a year to get distracted, 2025 was the year, because we've had such a cadence of incredible games that have started from all the way back from January all the way till this week. We've had just incredible releases. And as a result of that, how the hell can you fault anybody for not being able to finish a certain game out there unless your full-time job is just gaming 7 days a week? There we go. See the Souza? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. He says, Colt got distracted by Fallout 4. There you go.
I'm not coming
Sharifi,
back.
Colteastwood. No, don't come back. I'll just talk with the chat. Destin's coming on. Him and I could talk about Fallout.
I can't even show my face anymore.
Sharifi, I can tell you 100% that if Colt Eastwood came out on one of my escapades, especially what happened in Niagara Falls, look at him, he's crawling on his hands and knees like a dog.
I've been reduced to nothing.
What am I going to be like the guy from Batman Begins? Your father begged. Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Like a dog.
That's such a good movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He begged. Like a dog.
I think there is one game that I went to when I gave up 33 because I was reviewing one. I can't say it because it would bother some certain people, but there are certain games that I love more than others, and the game that I was reviewing when I gave a break to 33, I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, I never went back. I also never went back to... I saw in the chat, I tried to play the Indiana Jones DLC, The Order of the Giants, and I was playing for 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. And so I loaded up Fallout 4. Let's talk about, I don't want to talk about Call of Duty.
Right, Starfield. Anyways, yeah.
I actually don't want to talk about Call of Duty. Yeah, was it Assassin's Creed, Colt? actually, I don't think it was. Maybe it was. Maybe it was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was really great.
No, you started. Oh, yes, you did. That's right.
It might have been. I thought it might have been Avowed, but I'm pretty sure I stopped playing. I'm guilty as charged for 2025. The games are phenomenal. I think they're all great. I'm glad people love them, but I feel bad that I didn't finish it. And I had a conversation with a good friend right before the show about this. I didn't finish Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it's like one of the top games, or Expedition 33. But South of Midnight came out, which is a game I didn't love. Avowed was out, a game I loved. Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, a game I really, really liked. It was insane. I don't want to talk about Call of Duty's problems right now because I think it would just derail the pace of the show. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. We're already an hour and a half into the show. So I'm going to move in and we're going to go right. I'm actually dropping another subject that I don't even think we want to get into. Let's talk about the Game of the Year nominations that were just revealed, which go right into what we've been talking about. Jeff Keighley's panel showcased a ton of games. Xbox was nominated for 10 different awards, but no Game of the Year nomination. Before we get into the old things, I want to talk about this fanboy ammo that's being used for years. It's this graphic that shows all of the Game of the Year nominations since 2013 when it first started. I think it was 2013 or 2012. And Xbox has an X down the line for every single game. You're going to see.
I saw that. Yeah.
You're going to see this because MBG shared it. MBG's a good friend of the show, really great guy. We're really good friends. You're going to see people like MBG or anti-Xbox people share this graphic because Xbox has never had a Game of the Year contender. I will tell you right now, it is missing 3 games, but you're not going to like them because you don't think they count if you're a massive fanboy. Number 1, Psychonauts 2. Number 2, Deathloop. And just before that, Outer Worlds. All of those were owned and published by Xbox Studios when they came out. So it's only 3 games out of, 15 titles or 15 years. So Xbox just has not really made Game of the Year contenders, and they've never won a single award. They've only had 3 nominations. So, Mag, I've said a lot. Let's talk about the Game of the Year nominations, and I want you to tell everybody about what was nominated for Game of the Year. Do you remember?
Game of the Year. We've got, yes, of course. We got Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, obviously. We got Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 were the games that were nominated for Game of the Year.
Which one do you kick out? Which one doesn't belong there?
Now, here's the thing. I don't like doing this because I haven't played the actual game. You know what I mean? But Hades 2, I hear it's great. But I mean, you've already got like an indie game in there with Silksong. I think you could have left one indie game, left Hades 2 out. I think you could have left that one out.
Left Hades 2 out?
Yes.
What would you put in its place? Because there were some. Oh, I know what I'd put in its place. What would you put in place of Hades 2?
From what I'm played so far, I'm 40 hours in. I would have put Ghost of Yotei in there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here's the thing. I see the argument saying, "Oh, it's just a rehash of Ghost of Tsushima." So is Hades 2. So is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So is Uncharted 2. So is Halo 2. So is Gears of War 2. Do I have to go on? It's a friggin' sequel. I almost said the F word. I'm 40 hours in the Yotei. It's a wonderful, gripping story. It's very emotional. The combat was greatly improved. The graphics are amazing. You play that on a Pro, on a 4K monitor, it is mind-blowing. It is not the same as Tsushima. And I platinumed Tsushima twice. So I have the pedigree and the balls to say that I can see the difference because I've put it in. Most people who don't never even played the damn game to begin with. So stop it. Anyway,
what about Fallout 4 2?
And by the way, guys, don't take me too seriously, all right? Don't take me too seriously. Everybody get all worked up. Okay, Blind King. Blind King, answer me in the chat. Yotei, did you play it? Did you play it?
You kind of have to play it.
I want you to type that in the chat before you talk smack. Tell me you played it. And if you put 40 hours and above, you don't even have to put 40 hours. You can put 4 hours and above. If you played it and you do that, and then you could say the game was whatever, then you could talk. If you did not, then you can't. And that's why I don't even like talking about Hades. I never put my fingers onto Hades 2 yet. I played Hades 1
I played
and I
the
finished
first one.
Hades, and I loved it. I loved it.
I didn't.
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. But the thing is, I haven't played Hades 2, so therefore I'm not going to fraudulent myself and say, oh, that game is trash or it's just a rehash of the first Hades, therefore it doesn't deserve to be there. But you asked me a question. It's a hypothetical question. I got to give you a hypothetical answer. I would say that I would move Hades 2 out of there and put Ghost GOTY in. If there's anything else that you would say to put in his place, see, Logical Gaming is saying Hades 2 is great. That's wonderful. And I did hear it's a very good game.
Yeah, I hear it's really good. I just thought... there's no reason to say why one of those games should not be in the listing, but if I was going to pick, I think I would take Hades 2 out and put Split Fiction in there, but that's also very derivative of
oh my god,
It Takes Two, even though it's really good.
Isn't that weird? It's a 2-player co-op game of like 2 different stories that come together, just like the first one. But you know, hey, whatever. What do we know? Just like every sequel, you know what I mean? It's not a complete difference from the actual whatever. But yeah, I don't see what's his face there talking. He never said if he played it or not. I don't see in the chat.
He just like
I don't
walked,
see in the
walked
chat.
out like I did. Yeah.
Meet the cheater. Got it on my PS5 Pro. It's beautiful. Yeah, I know it's beautiful. And it's not just because it's a beautiful game. It's actually a fantastic story, incredible gameplay, very engaging. The way that they changed up some things in the open world that they did a little different this time is that there's more. I know some of it was in the first game, but they really tweaked it in this one. Is that they made it more organic, that you actually don't rely on the map as much, where you're going around and yes, you have the stupid flying bird just like the first game or whatever. But sometimes you'll just find a dude who's just like, you know, with a broken cart. And then you just like go talk to him, and then he's just like, "Oh, hello, you know, Onyo." We're gonna. Then he starts talking about something. All of a sudden, you go on a 45-minute tangent, not even just a side mission, an adventure, and you're just so enveloped in this adventure, and you're like, "Wow, this is incredible." And then all of a sudden, along the way, you start finding all this other crazy stuff. You find a village you wasn't even on the map, and you're like, "What is that?" And then you go down and explore a fishing village, and this. And that. They've opened it up more organically. And because of that, the game is absolutely incredible. The combat, stunningly good.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
But anyways.
And I think about...
But people are saying AC Shadows as well. So... Yeah.
AC Shadows is really... AC Shadows is better than you think it is, and it has some really touching story moments in it, but...
I really look forward to playing.
It has a lot of busy work that really needed to be removed, and traversal can be a pain in the butt.
There you go.
Yeah,
Frauded himself out. Blind King. I don't play Sony reskins, remakes, or remasters. There you go. There's your answer.
Well, you know, I was thinking about Death Stranding.
You never even played the game, but you're, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've finished Death Stranding 2, and I really liked the first one a lot. It really won me over. But playing 2, I was like, they kind of removed all the tension that made 1 so amazing. And I'm like,
right.
How is this scoring higher than the first game? And now it's being nominated for Game of the Year. So... I don't know. And the storytelling wasn't as memorable to me, but
right. I played a little bit of it, and again, it's one of those games that's in the backlog that I haven't got to. I will get to it. I assure you. Assure you, but I'm just assuring myself.
Kojima traded gameplay emergence for what made the game so unique. There are moments, many moments in the first game where you might not fight anything, but that tension is so cool and the immersion. He removed that so that you could have cool combat segments way more often, and some of the impossible things were possible. But anyway, that's right. I'm going to go over the list again real quick.
So what are you gonna? What about you? What would you said you would switch out?
I would kick out Hades 2 and put in Split Fiction.
And what would you put in it? And you put in Split Fiction. Okay, Split Fiction. By the way, if anybody hasn't played it, Split Fiction is one of my favorite games of the entire year. It's an absolute masterpiece of a game. Great story, great gameplay, very, very clever level design. Like, very clever.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
The reason why level design.
The reason why I would kick out Hades is I played a few hours of Hades, and the rinse and repeat thing that everyone loves, I just don't like it. So my personal switch would be Split Fiction. Troy Baker gets a performance nomination for Indiana Jones. South of Midnight, I'm going to talk about Xbox games here, got Games for Impact nomination. And let's talk about the best action adventure game. I have played a little bit of these, but one big one I did not even touch. And you're going to be mad at me, Mag. Okay. Best action game goes to Ninja Gaiden 4, Hades 2,
Okay.
Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, Battlefield 6, and Doom: The Dark Ages. What would be your standout for action game between those? Ninja Gaiden, Hades, Shinobi, Battlefield, Doom.
No, I got, Indiana Jones is in there too?
No.
Best action adventure? Is that what you said?
No. Ninja Gaiden, Hades, Shinobi, Battlefield, Doom.
Oh, best action. Sorry, I was thinking action adventure because there's a second category that has action and adventure.
Okay, you've got it up so you can.
Did you even see that? Yeah.
Pause.
Well, the standouts. I mean, Doom was. Oh, so, here's a shocker. Doom played like other Doom games. Weird, isn't it? Battlefield 6 played kind of like the other Battlefields. You shoot a gun at people. Weird. Battlefield 6 was an outstanding game. I mean, that was an absolutely outstanding game. I did not get the Ninja Gaiden 4 yet. Doom, Doom I did play. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 in the end when I did my review. It's pretty much where it sits, between a 7 and an 8, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I gave it an 8, I think.
And an 8, yeah. Maybe I gave it a 7.5. I'm not really sure. I did not play Ninja Gaiden 4. I know some people really liked it. Some people did not. It didn't really hit. Shinobi, I heard great things about it. But I think the Juggernaut's going to take... I mean, you got Hades 2 in there as well, which people are really into. I think that Battlefield 6 takes that one. And I think they deserve... I mean, from what I've played, I put in however many hours. It's a stunningly good game. I mean,
a lot of people said that Battlefield 6 should have got the Game of the Year nomination for the overall Game of the Year.
I mean, you know, the thing is, it's like that's like comic book. It's like that's what comic book movies like never get nominated for movie of the year except for The Dark Knight. Really, at the end of the day, like you're never gonna see a Marvel movie up for like because everybody just considers it like entertainment, schlocky entertainment or whatever, right? Even if it's really good and really well made, it never gets put in that pantheon of film or whatever else. Same thing here. I don't think you'll find a shooter that gets nominated for Game of the Year ever. I think it'll be in those other categories. You know, best shooter, best action. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about very quick is that there's another category right there, best action adventure.
Okay.
Which I think is a little bit off.
Lay him down for us.
Okay, this one's a little off to me.
Really?
Ghost of Yotei. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hear this out. Ghost of Yotei absolutely deserves it. Hollow Knight Silk Song absolutely deserves it. Indiana Jones absolutely deserves it. Split Fiction 100% deserves it. This is the one that I disagree with. I don't think that Death Stranding 2 is an action adventure game. I think it's an experience as opposed to being funneled into an action adventure category. I don't really feel that that's an action adventure game. I think it's, well, no pun intended, it's a journey, it's an experience, but I don't believe it's action adventure.
I want you to take your Kenny Loggins. I want you to take your logic and argue that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle versus Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
What, in terms of like action adventure?
You're saying Death Stranding 2 doesn't deserve to be in the action adventure category.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't deserve it. It just seems like an odd choice because it's not really I've never attributed
Which one do you think has more combat?
Action adventure.
Which one do you think has more action adventure? Indiana Jones or Death Stranding? Oh, okay.
Like Death Stranding, you can have action if you really want to. You could avoid it.
A lot of set pieces in it, though.
There are set pieces, but you can also avoid a lot. Yeah, you can avoid a lot of it. I played the first one, and I put in a couple hours in the second one, and then I was like, I'll get back to it. You know, famous last words for your backlog, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back to it. Never did, but I will. I absolutely will. But Indiana Jones seems like I know it's more of like an exploratory game, puzzle solving, whatever else. There's still a lot of action. There's stealth. There's still set pieces in there as well. I would actually attribute because I attribute it with the film. I kind of feel that Indiana Jones is more of an action adventure title. That's just the way.
Yeah, you're right. I stand corrected. Yeah, there are big set pieces, and there's way more combat in Death Stranding 2 than the first one. But yeah. Indiana Jones is an action adventure game through and through. So,
right.
Red Wolf Renegade in the chat. I almost want to just like leave the show and let you just take over while we play Ark. He says, "Oh gosh, this guy is so obsessed." Are you ready for this? He says, "Stalker 2 just got a massively huge update to 1.7. It needs more attention from the newcomers to the IP. It is slowly becoming a No Man's Sky evolution in terms of quality content and features. And he puts a hands up emoji, sparkly stars, and a fire emoji, and he says, also, it wouldn't let me add this because I ran out of characters. Stalker is so good, Colt. You should play that instead of Fallout 4. He didn't really say that.
Well, at least it'd be a somewhat newer experience, right? Is there anything you wanted to add here? Because there's another thing I have a little bit of a gripe with that actually kind of bothers me a bit. And this actually, and you know what? And everybody knows. I don't know why they feel this way. I mean, because I'm very critical of Microsoft because, well, they're not really, they haven't really been that good with the way they run their companies. I'm not talking about their games. I'm talking about the way they run their companies. So I'm very critical of them. However, in this moment, in 2 moments, I'm going to defend Microsoft that I think that they deserve 2 more nominations that they did not get, and I think that they were snubbed.
You're going to defend Microsoft?
I'm not Microsoft.
I got to put this in the timestamps. Mag is a jerkwad.
I'm going to defend Xbox here. I think that they got snubbed on 2 nominations, and I said this today during Madcast when I did my reaction show. I think they got snubbed on 2 nominations, and I think it was criminal that they were snubbed in that respect. The first one I want to talk about is most anticipated game. I think that putting in The Witcher 4 is the stupidest thing for most anticipated game because it's not even coming out this generation.
It could. Okay? Yeah, it probably won't.
Very unlikely. Sir riffs a lot. He's like, stop, Meg, you don't like Xbox. I'm going to defend them on this. There's 2 games that if in that category, you should have absolute proof that the game, well, within reason, somewhat proof that the game is coming out in 2026. Right? You've got 007 First Light. That's coming out. We already have
these are the most anticipated, according to the panel. Okay.
Yes. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Hold on.
By the way, that delay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go back to 007. Sure. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10, your pants will literally fly off your crotch. How excited are you for 007?
I'm actually pretty excited for it.
Like what number?
My anticipation level, the more I see of it, the more I'm like, you know what? This looks very Bond Uncharted-like, and I'm like, I'm kind of in, man. Not Sarah Bond.
Well, how excited are you in 1 to 10? Are you like a 9?
I'm like a 9 for
I
think it's looking better and better.
I'm like a 007. I'm like a 6 or 7. Because
I'm a sucker for those kind of games, dude. I'm a sucker for those games because I mean those were like 360 PS3 games. You know what I mean? It reminds you of those kind of like those days of like the original Uncharted series, back even before that, the Tomb Raider series, and like the big set pieces and you know what I mean?
True. I do love that.
And I'm
stuff.
like I'm really into that. I mean, and at first I got to tell you, when I first saw it, I'm like, ugh, I don't want to play this. My anticipation level for that game was like a 4. But the more I saw of it, I'm like,
I was gonna say what changed it?
Like
good. When you saw more trailers or something or what?
Yeah, well, they did that last showing of it. What was it? They did a state of play on it, and whatever else, right? And when I was like watching that, I was like, you know what? This looks like a mix of like Perfect Dark and Uncharted. And I'm like, I'm kind of in, man. I mean, if it takes me on a wild romp, if it takes me on a wild romp adventure, exactly. Who did someone say that in the chat?
No, you did.
Or you're just saying that?
No,
okay, yeah. Like
you literally
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's great.
No, but what I'm saying is like I'm really the more I saw of it, I'm like, you know what? If you give me that Perfect Dark / Uncharted thing and have a wild romp and have a good time, I'm in.
However, and it's a studio that's fantastic, so I should be more excited. But it's 2026, Mag.
It's March. Yeah, they already have a release date.
Oh
Release date. Okay,
yeah. I interrupted you. I interrupted you.
A week and a half into March.
I don't have the next game. I don't have this stuff written down on my list here.
Now, here's the thing. I want to get back to that most anticipated game thing that I think is a mistake.
Okay.
007, fine. It's there. It's coming out 2026. Grand Theft Auto 6, without question, that's the last delay. The delay that just happened is the last delay. It is coming out 2026. So that's fine there. Marvel's Wolverine from PlayStation, from Sony, that's coming out most likely September. But that is 100% coming out 26. Resident Evil Requiem comes out in February. We know that. Great. And then you put in, this is where it pisses me off. You got 4 games that you know are coming out this year, and they're all big games. You put in The Witcher 4 That is, I'm telling you now, 100% is not coming out this generation. They may have a cross-generation version of it because they're going to have to be able to, scale it for like people's potato PCs, to consoles and whatever else. And then, of course, they'll be able to move up from there depending on your hardware. It's not coming out this generation. You're not seeing it in 26. You're not seeing
that category for? Is it most anticipated in 2026 or most anticipated game?
Yeah, but like if you're going to do that every single year, if you're going to have that as a category every year, why would you just have wild, I could say Fallout 5.
Because Fallout 5 has been in
2035 for Christ's sake. Like it's stupid.
Okay, can you read me the whole list again? 007, GTA 6,
26. GTA 6, 26. Marvel's Wolverine, 26.
Yep.
Resident Evil Requiem, 26.
Yep.
And then Witcher 4. That's what I'm getting at. And like you put a Witcher 4 that is 100% not coming out in 26.
And that's the end of the list?
For 27. That's the end of the list. I think, and this is where I'm going to defend Xbox. Xbox should have had, not Xbox. They should have nominated Forza Horizon 6 as the most anticipated. And the reason why I'm putting that over Gears of War is because
Gears and Fable.
Gears has dropped off in popularity and certainly in the mind share of the community.
There's no candle
Forza
in the
Horizon,
window,
on the other hand,
for millions of people for Gears E-Day like there would be for.
Oh, dude, I'm excited
about
E-Day.
Gears
Is
E-Day.
one of my most anticipated. It's in my top 5 most anticipated games of 26, and 2026 looks like it's going to be one of those years that we're so packed with games that once again it's going to become an issue of like, how the hell can you make a top 5 when they're going to have a top 15 incredible games coming out next year? But Gears E-Day is up there for me as well.
You know what else isn't on there is Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra.
Well, that got delayed again. So that might not even hit 26.
No, I think it's supposed to be in 26. It got delayed out of 25, or maybe not.
No,
I'm not even that excited for that game.
Yeah,
I'm having a harder time being excited for some of these really big games.
The King 8606, Gears of War E-Day has not dropped off. Gears of War has 100% dropped off. I'm talking about the series itself, not E-Day. The series has dropped off, and I think Gears of E-Day is going to do incredibly well, but it doesn't have the same mindshare that it did 20 years ago. It does not. Sales of the Reloaded and even Gears 4 and 5, the engagement in those games were way down. All you have to do is go look at the numbers, bro. The numbers are right there. You don't have to look at me. Colt is agreeing with me.
Yeah, it's like
you're on your own with that one.
Half-life of degradation of how many people are super excited.
R double in the chat.
And Meg said it well, like the Gears E-Day.
I think it's going to be great.
Gears E-Day reinvigorated the Gears franchise in a way that they hadn't seen in a long time. So
yes,
I expect people will be excited for Gears E-Day as much as they were for Gears 5. And hopefully it goes higher than that. Matt Rush says, Gears 5 was not the best. I freaking love Gears 5. I think it is one. I went and replayed the whole trilogy waiting for Gears 5, and I'm sorry, I don't like those old games. 5 feels so good. And the storytelling.
I played Gears Reloaded, and it was just to me, I thought when I played Gears Reloaded, I'm like, I'm not talking about the gameplay and whatever else. I'm not talking about like the technical aspect. I'm talking about like the atmosphere, the story, the engagement, even the horror elements and all that stuff. A lot of those were lacking in 4 and 5 that I felt weren't there. And when I played back Reloaded, I was realized to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, this is way better. This is way better than the thing. Now, that being said, a Sith does not deal in absolutes. Hivebusters is the best thing, was the last thing they released, and Hivebusters is probably one of the best Gears entries I've ever played, ever.
It is fantastic. Yeah.
I loved Hivebusters more than anything else out there. Magnum, are you my Magnum or are you a different Magnum?
I see.
Better not be a different Magnum.
Oh,
he says Pony says Gears whatever. Is that my Magnum?
That is, yeah. That's our Magnum. He's our Magnum. We both own him.
Sorry. He's a mod on my channel. So like,
let's see. If I was going to say what got snubbed,
I kind of claimed him.
I would say if
Pony
anything,
says Gears has dropped off. Yes, it has. So sorry.
I agree with Mag. It has dropped off, but it's not dead for sure. If I was going to say
nobody said it's dead. like I said, Gears.
Well, you know, people deal in
only a Sith
absolutes.
deals in absolutes.
Yeah.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Obi-Wan Kenobi 2005.
Is that what year it was
anyway,
when
listen,
he said that? No.
It was 2005 in Revenge of the Sith. Dude, I think that Forza Horizon 6 deserves to be in the game of the year, or sorry, the most anticipated game, because it is coming out next year, and Forza
you would kick out Witcher and
bigger.
put. You would kick out
because
Witcher
Witcher's not
and,
coming out next year.
What do you think is more anticipated, Soros from PlayStation or Forza Horizon 6?
Forza Horizon 6.
Okay, now let me ask you. I would think this game should be. Shout out to 4XP, by the way. This is the 9-pack variety of the joysticks. Go pick up one of these so you get blue raspberry, watermelon, and white gummy.
There are many
Fable.
magnums, but this magnum is mine.
Yeah, there are many. Fable, a lot of people say, why isn't Fable on the most anticipated? I really worry about how excited or how retentioned people are when it comes to Fable. I did that video last week that not a lot of people watched that video. I think people are like, Fable's probably going to be sometime in mid 2026. Maybe it doesn't even make 2026. I think people are a little bit worried about if Fable's going to be able to deliver. The people working on it are incredible. I think it's going to be really good.
Fable's coming out in 26.
You don't think so? I really feel like they're going to push
Blind
it.
King, you're absolutely wrong. He's saying Fable will outsell Forza and Gears. Not a chance, bro.
No, it never could. Never could.
Not a chance. Forza Horizon, even on PlayStation, a 3-year-old Xbox sold 3 million copies in 3 weeks, bro.
Forza Horizon,
and that's a 3-year-old game from Xbox. Sold 3 million copies in less than a month on PlayStation. That doesn't include what it sold on Xbox for those 3 years, plus the Game Pass engagement and everything else. Forza is a monster IP that absolutely overshadows Gears and Fable, without question. Now, the other thing is with Fable is we haven't had a Fable game since before my son was born, who is now approaching his teenage years. And so it's no longer part of the...
Yeah, my son was born the year after.
The pantheon of... Yeah, okay, us old graybeards who've played all the Fables. I played all the Fables back in the day on the 360 and upwards, right? But my son wasn't even born yet. He's 13 years old now, and there hasn't been a Fable game. It's no longer in the mindshare. Forza Horizon, however, has released a steady cadence of not only top-quality games, but have sold insanely well. Even on Game Pass, they still sold... You remember when they did the thing on Game Pass, Colt, where you can upgrade and get the deluxe edition because you could play it 3 days early? Didn't they sell millions in the first week alone?
Yeah, they did.
Of the upgrades. And that's when it was even offered on Game Pass day one. People were still buying it. And then playing it on Xbox, PC, and now PS5. Forza Horizon is going to be a juggernaut next year, and I think that it deserves to be on the most anticipated game list instead of Witcher 4. I'm very much looking forward to Witcher 4, no question.
It's got to be a 2027 game, Witcher, right?
It's got to be. I think that if you've got 4 out of the 5 games in that category are coming out next year, then the 5th game should be a game that's also coming out next year, not some game that we don't even have a bloody release date. That's my opinion. And I think Forza Horizon 6 in Japan is going to be that game. I actually even think that it may, well, it depends on, no, let's not say that. But I was going to say it might be one of the top selling games outside of Grand Theft Auto 6, and depends on how Call of Duty does next year. It'll definitely be in the top 2 or 3 best sellers of 2026 will be Forza Horizon. And I think that Forza Horizon deserves to be in that most anticipated spot. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I wanted to... I know a lot of people are wondering why Xbox kind of gets snubbed or missed in the pantheon of the Game Awards nominations, but they had a pretty stellar year of incredible releases of games. And some of these I liked, some of these I loved, some of them I don't really care. But Avowed was a game that I think was really great, but I don't think it should be nominated for the Game of the Year top award. And, it's also, an 81 or 83 out of 100. So it's kind of like the competition's crazy. South to Midnight, people were like, why didn't it get the...
Yeah.
why didn't that get the music nod, like the best art direction?
Thank you.
Or it did. Like, I think maybe it should have. I don't really think it needs to, but I don't know.
You know my background in music, and I could tell you this without. I think that best score in music. I think, and that was the second thing I was going to talk about. I was going to say I was going to defend the Xbox thing twice. One is I think Forza Horizon 6 deserved to be in the most anticipated spot over Witcher 4, which is clearly not coming out anytime soon. And I think that the best score in music, I think South of Midnight deserved a nomination, and they got completely snubbed there. You stick in Hades 2, which I heard is like okay music, not great. Silk Song has some pretty incredible music. Expedition 33 has outstanding music score. Music and score.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei, outstanding music and score. I was actually playing it the other night, and I'm going, God, I'm like, man, this music is incredible in Ghost of Yotei. Whether it's the cinematic cutscenes or whether you're in battle and they have the traditional,
Gosh, you're gonna make me buy that probably this month.
And the music is amazing, and the drumming and the bum 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 and all the stuff. Ghost of Yotei's got great music. Death Stranding 2 has great music. I didn't see anything outstanding about Hades 2. I watched gameplay of it on YouTube, but that. I have not put my hands on the game, but I've watched it. And I'm like, there's nothing special here. But you know what? There was something special in South of Midnight, and I think South of Midnight had an incredible score because it not only grabbed the feel and soul of the southern United States, and of course the lore there, where it came to like bluegrass blues.
That was very cool.
The New Orleans jazz and everything else. You've got all those influences of the southern United States music scene.
Those little stories about people who have, there were things I really liked about South of Midnight. Overall, the game I don't think was really that good, but the stories about people who are just living with pain that they deal with within their family and friends and loved ones and the dynamic between her mother and her estranged father and her grandma. Like, it was all really, really good. There were some songs in South of Midnight I thought were really dumb. But then there were some where I was like, wow, this music sounds really, really good, especially in the last half of the game. But some of the other games...
think that the music in South of Midnight was amazing. And listen, what's his name? Logical Gaming. I'm not taking away from it says it's the highest rated game. It deserves all it gets. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm talking about specifically, I'm talking about the music here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the music here specifically.
Yeah, and I'm trying to lead it back toward... Xbox games that should have been nominated or why they wouldn't have been nominated for Game of the Year. Another one's Oblivion. Oblivion is really highly rated when it came out, but the remaster or remake wasn't. So obviously I don't think that deserves to be nominated. Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm just going to go through these list of big games that Xbox put out this year. I didn't love Doom: The Dark Ages to death. I thought its pacing was bad.
No. It was my second favorite of the trilogy.
It's my third favorite of the trilogy, Mag.
Really? My favorite is still, obviously, 2016 was an absolutely outstanding game.
Yeah, that's my favorite
2016, the original Doom, that's the best one, hands down. That was a 10 out of 10.
Meg,
Doom Eternal, yeesh.
Real quick,
I didn't like it as much.
I've got three other kind of dicey topics that I want to cover. So I'm going to bring in.
God.
I know. I'm going to bring in Fonz from Fonz Gaming so that you can go whenever you're ready. So he's going to jump in a moment.
I got to start packing.
Yeah, because you're leaving.
I'm
going to finish this thing real quick about the games. Like Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is remastered. It doesn't deserve it. Gears Reloaded, we already talked about how it wasn't even that great of a remaster. Why would you nominate it for Game of the Year? Ninja Gaiden 4, I mean, I had it for review and I played it a couple hours and I just went back to play Fallout 4. No, I went back to play other games. Well, this game.
Ronnie Anderson, don't encourage him, please. Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2 was the game I was playing, which was right. Where is Podcast 3? And I'll change the names here. Oh, once he
By the way, Circus Hands is in the chat, Gaz.
Oh, he is? Gaz, you missed it. I gave a pretty big apology about how I came around on the reasons why they shouldn't do PvE in Arc Raiders at the beginning of the show. A lot of lessons learned there, but whatever. I still hate you. But yeah. Anyway, hold on. We'll get the thing there. Yes, it is back. And let me move Mag's name over here. There we go. One last thing I'll say before I let Mag go because I wanted him to have last word here, is Outer Worlds 2 I thought was fantastic. I loved it so much more than the first one, but it was missing some things. Fonz and I could probably talk about that game for an hour. When you look at Game of the Year, it has to have everything. That story has to be memorable. That music has to just stick with you. The combat has to be near perfect and all those things. And I don't think Xbox had that this year. And most years they don't have like the whole trifecta: combat, presentation, and story. So I think that's where we sit. Meg, tell everybody your last thoughts on the Game of the Year and what they can expect from you when you're not at Great Wolf Lodge.
I will not be streaming from Great Wolf. Someone else was like, Mag, you got to stream from Great Wolf Lodge. I'm like, I'm not doing that unless something like major happens, which will happen in the next couple days. But whatever, we'll talk about that when I get back. Madcast Thursday night, 8:45 Eastern Standard. That's not my normal time. Normally it's Tuesdays, but because I'm away, I'll be doing that. And then if anything else crops up this week, which it will, we'll get some more news. I'll drop some videos here and there and talk about that. And then starting Friday, we're going to get back to the laughing and mocking Call of Duty while we have a lot of fun playing it. We're going to be doing that on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever days are available. We're going to be having a lot of fun with the community. I've been doing a lot of community game nights. Channel members have been jumping in there, and it's been wonderful. Doing 4-player co-op on the campaign has been a lot of fun. We're gonna do zombies this weekend as well. We're gonna have a lot of fun, man. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. So, anyways, you guys are all awesome. And Literal Table, there he is in the chat. Channel member for you, Colt. Him and I were. He was with me playing that Call of Duty, so we had a great time. But anyways, we will obviously over time talk about the Game Awards. But I want to leave you guys with something really funny. And by the way, Fonz, hello, brother. I want to tell you guys. Yeah, I want to tell you guys something really funny. And this is something that I said as soon as the Game Awards finished. I said, you watch and see. Just like when it came to the ROG Ally X, when people argued for weeks incessantly that this is an Xbox, this is not an Xbox, this is a PC, this is a whatever. The new argument, mark my words, from toxic fanboys, both Xbox and PlayStation, is going to be, is Death Stranding 2 a PlayStation game or not a PlayStation game because it's nominated for Game of the Year? Because as it stands, there's no PlayStation games and no Xbox games first party nominated for Game of the Year. Neither company have a Game of the Year nomination. But Death Stranding is owned by Kojima. No, it's Kojima. However, it's still exclusive to the PlayStation 5. So all I can think of in my head, with my big bowl of popcorn and laughing, and myself and Blind King are going to sit on the couch together, having a couple beers, laughing about this. I'm telling you. By the way, Bias, it's all just jokes in the chat. We don't get too serious. They're going to be arguing about Death Stranding 2's a PlayStation game, and Xbox guys are going to be saying it's not a PlayStation game, and then people in the middle are all going to be just kind of watching. So watch out for the fireworks for the next couple of weeks. It should be really hilarious. And it's already started. Yeah. It's already started in the chat. There we go.
Yeah, MBG has Death Stranding has MBG has Death Stranding in the thing because it says exclusive Game of the Year nominations. Exclusive. Yeah. Exclusive. Mag, thanks for everything, bro. Have a good trip.
Thank you guys so much. Blind King, I didn't know it was you, Malik. Yeah, we'll talk during the week. I didn't know, like, everybody. There you go. Thank you. All these names are changing and stuff on YouTube. Like Paris is Marcello now.
They went to
Gaz
like this
is Circus Hands. Like all these names are changing.
They went to this stupid like unique username because of I don't know, whatever.
At Blind King, I had no idea you were Malik. You should have said so before I started attacking you. Anyways, it's all fun, guys. Have a great rest of the show. I'll talk to you guys all soon. I'm heading over to Great Wolf Lodge. Time to get into the old get into my bikini, and I'm gonna do some slides. We'll see you guys all on Thursday night. Have a great show, guys.
See you, Mag.
Nice, Mag. Take
Later.
care.
All right, let me change this name to Fonz. Oh, let's put the Fonz. Why not? Right? Welcome to the show. Fonz is a longtime friend. And he is also, I also got to change a little croppage here. He's also a, he runs, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin this. He also runs Fonz Gaming's channel, and you should check him out if you want to hear everything that he does there. I got to remember what these buttons are. Hold on.
Podcast and all that good stuff. Podcast tomorrow, actually.
Oh, I'm going to turn you up just a little bit.
4 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, podcaster, a gamer,
oh man, and hasn't gaming been amazing this year?
Well, I mean, do you really feel like it has?
Yeah, I do. I've changed my mind. After Arc Raiders, I'm telling you, Arc Raiders is just, it's something. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've been playing it together. You're just getting started because you're kind of late in the.
Yeah.
You picked up the game just the other day. So Meg and I spent quite a bit of time. Ago. Yeah, talking about, gosh, I can't even figure out where I'm going. There we go. We spent quite a bit of time talking about the Game of the Year stuff, but I wanted to talk about some of the other topics that are coming up. Jez Corden.
Oh, by the way, can I just say that Game of the Year, the nominations anyway, I am so I'm frustrated because I think Arc Raiders should have been in there instead of some other games. I could have picked out of 3 games that I would have omitted for Arc Raiders.
Oh, really?
And I know you know those games that I would pick to omit, but.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't actually. Real quick, give us which ones you think.
I think Expedition 33 is my Game of the Year. I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The other games, I could have omitted any of them for Arc. Arc deserves to be nominated. It is a freaking... Right now, it's an enigma, man. Like, so many people are playing this game. Like, people that aren't even big on multiplayer genre games. Like, I'm not huge on multiplayer, but I am addicted to this. So that says a lot. And a lot, by the way. Yeah, I just wish that it would have been nominated. It sucks that it's not. Death Stranding 2. I mean, it's got a lot of people out there. I mean, reviewers anyway, giving it high scores. But I think a lot of people just, suck on Kojima hard, Keeley included. So anything he creates, it's always going to be nominated. And it sucks because not everything that he does needs to be nominated. I don't think everything he touches is perfect. Just like I don't think, even though I love Ghost of Tsushima, I haven't played Ghost of Yotei, so I can't speak on it. But everybody was yelling, Game of the Year, just as they always do, and it wasn't nominated. And I'm kind of glad it wasn't.
Did you see the clip on social media of someone saying, tell me this isn't peak gaming? The guy is literally pressing triangle 5 times. Yeah. And I'm like, it looks cool. And this has always been my issue with the PlayStation games that you and I love, like Spider-Man and Ghost. And like, these games are fantastic. And I know that Wolverine's going to have this too. They hide these little packets of QuickTime events that if you look at the game, it looks phenomenal. But in actuality, you're just pushing 2 buttons or 1 button and letting the game make you look like a total badass. And I don't want to sound like the ultimate...
It works for these games.
Fun.
The cinematic presence in these games and everything, it works so well. And I'm not going to crap on that because honestly, I think that in those situations, it's a skill you unlock to do those QuickTime events quicker. And you have those... Yeah, and then you got that cinematic look to it. It makes sense. I'm not going to crap on that. I think it's a really well done thing, but I just think that there's other games out there that deserve it. I'm glad KCD 2 was nominated because that game is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Arc Raiders, like you're actually doing those things. If you pull off something amazing, you're doing that with timing, controls, and using the mechanics within the game. Like when you jump off a tower in Arc Raiders and grab a ledge and then head down and take out all these enemies, do all this cool stuff. That's all you doing that cool stuff. But I hate when people show QuickTime events. Go, look how amazing this looks. People used to do that with all kinds of games like Bayonetta.
Spider-Man especially. Remember the first Spider-Man? Yeah, it was the same thing in 2018. It was like, look at that. It looks amazing. Anyway, but that's all I wanted to say about the Game Awards. We can talk about what...
Yeah. And I'm going to leave Mag's animation up because I don't want to turn off and on all that stuff next time we do the show. I'll just leave Fonz's name there. I'm pretty sure you guys know they don't look very similar, but
actually, let me get my glasses and then we will.
Your devil's tools, as you call them.
The devil's tools, exactly.
I want to talk about Jez Corden got in a ton of hot water over his discussion about PlayStation. And you and I have some crazy theories about what PlayStation is going to be doing in the near future. what Jez Corden said for the audience for catch up is he said, like 4 days ago, he said, PlayStation day and date on PC is coming. That was his statement. And I don't want to get Fonz in trouble again, but
no. Let's preface this by saying my good friend Jez Corden.
There you go.
My good friend.
Yeah, I love Jez's stuff. And Jez turned around on Xbox 2 podcast and said, I said that on social media, but then someone reached out to me that doesn't normally reach out, because he goes, I'm not a insider when it comes to PlayStation or Nintendo. I mostly just cover Xbox. This is because he works for Windows Central. And he said one of his contacts said regarding PlayStation, actually, I'm hearing the opposite, is what they told Jez. They're pulling back from day and date on PC. And then he reiterated again that he's not quite sure if that guy knows what he's talking about for sure. And Randall Thor said, I didn't hear anything like that, so I can't corroborate it. And so now there's these mixed messages where the anti-Xbox YouTubers and content creators are out there celebrating that now Jez is a bona fide source because he said PlayStation is pulling back on PC. Fonz, I want to hear your expertise on this, because you have strong opinions about what PlayStation should be doing or what they could be doing.
Oh yeah, I think everything should be going there day and date, but that's just me. And look, they are still in the mindset that their console is comes first, unfortunately. And I'll get Sony guys upset by that, but look, as somebody who's moved to PC and I'd love everything to be there, for me day one. I would love to see their games come in, and I still think they will eventually. I'm not going to rule out the fact that, the industry is changing. It's something that we've seen for many years now. I mean, look at what they're doing with, they've got a storefront supposedly coming. They're going to be doing cross-buy and all that. That's going to be happening soon.
That was debunked as a really old UI thing that was floating in the background.
Oh, was it? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. But why? Okay, so it was something they were kicking around, right?
Well, I mean, which isn't good news, because if PlayStation's like, hey, we're not going to let you have the game twice. If you bought it once, we're not. Why would we do that? So that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
It's not a good thing for consumers, but eventually they seem to do what Microsoft does. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it seems like that's what they do. There was a time and point where a lot of people would say that they would never put a game out on PC at all. And that happened. And they were so freaking blindsided by that. It caused a meltdown in that community. Did it really hurt them? No. I mean, in the long run, all it's done is benefit gamers. I mean, you get to play those games. You got new people being able to experience all those games on the PC side. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But everything seems to be shifting now towards PC. It seems like all you've got left now is PlayStation and Nintendo in that console race. And
do you feel like that PC is getting so big? Like, how can you just sit there and be a console only?
Well, exactly. PC gaming's already taken over in terms of, how many games are bought every year, how many gamers are out there. Most are on PC. Console, as even some of those CEOs will tell you, are pretty niche in the whole gaming space.
What leadership? What corporate leaders have said that? Who?
Sony themselves, mind you, have said that in the past.
So is Phil.
The thing is like, Phil, look, the thing is they want to get games. They want to sell their games, sell as many as they can. And without going to PC, they knew that they were going to lose out on sales there. So their whole thing that they've adopted where they're putting it out maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, it'll keep shrinking eventually until it goes day and date. I'm still convinced by that. Sure, they'll tell you that they're only going to put their gas games out on PC day one, but it'll eventually change.
I think
go ahead.
I think PlayStation can afford to wait to put their games on PC. You and I could sit here all day and say it makes business sense. They'll make more money by selling their games to the PC and PlayStation players. And I think that really is the right answer. But I also think that PlayStation's like, we can put out a game in a year and a half later on PC, and if it's a good game, it'll sell really well. Like Wolverine, why? Why not?
Yeah.
Just because I think PlayStation believes we can still grow our console market, make money off of every PS5 we sell, while we wait and make a bunch of money on double dippers or on people who are waiting on PC.
Therein lies the issue, though. Double dippers are going the way of the dinosaur, man.
They really
Not a lot of people are waiting for the game, or they will wait for the game on PC and they won't buy it on their PS5, like myself. You know, I'm a big time FOMO guy. Like, I hate being behind on games and stuff. And Ghost of Yotei, I want to play Ghost of Yotei.
I do too.
Guess what? I'm not playing it until it gets on PC. You know, I would have never done that 2 years ago.
You know how much you and I have been like, we really shouldn't buy it. We've been telling ourselves, right? I tell you every once in a while, maybe I'm coming up on a slow month, and we're like, oh, we should wait. Yeah, because
I'm glad we did. Because now look, Arc Raiders, Where Winds Meet. By the way, Where Winds Meet is an excellent freaking game. I am enjoying the heck out of that. I've already got almost 20 hours into that game, and I'm still finding time to put Arc Raiders in. Arc Raiders is kind of jumped out.
I thought we called it Where Men's Meet.
Where Men's Meet. It's so good. It's so good.
I played like maybe a half an hour of it, but IGN gave it a 6. If you guys don't know what Where Winds Meet is, open world, kind of Souls-like looking MMO, but it actually looks like a AAA game, and it was getting kind of beat up on. IGN gave it a 6, but now I'm seeing people start to like really praise how surprisingly great this huge open world game is, and it's a full RPG, right? Like you level up your
combat systems are great, and I'm loving the fact that it focuses on 10th century Chinese martial arts, and like these heroic martial artists, like you could run through the sky literally if you open up a traversal perk. You can literally run through the
fast
sky.
Travels like
I
saw a video for that.
run through it. It's so awesome. But yeah, the combat is a joy. I love everything I've unlocked so far, the weaponry and stuff. It's a great game. But I said Arc is taking me away from that. And it's so good that I didn't buy Ghost of Yotei, because these two games alone are so much game to play. So much.
I know we always argue about how insane 2025 is, and I think it's probably been the most high-profile games to ever come out. One of them is Dispatch, which is a Telltale style game. That's I think it's like a superhero style game. I wanted to get your take on this. I'll give a quick opinion from myself. Dispatch is a Telltale type game that is from a studio that nearly went bankrupt for 7 years trying to build this game. Once they were able to get it off the ground, they released it only on PC and only on PS5. And now it's one of the most popular high-rated games coming in at the end of the year. And it doesn't go to Xbox because the developers are like, we don't feel like it's worth it. This is a problem I think Xbox is going to combat. They've been combating this for 10, 15 years, where some developer was like, we don't really need the Xbox. We're fine. We got plenty of sales without worrying about porting over. Now, Xbox gets the black eye of saying, here's this popular game, Dispatch, that people really like, and Xbox players have no access to this game because the developers are like, Xbox isn't good enough. Fonz, what's your...
This is going to become a real problem in next generation. And let me explain. So you have a console that is basically... You will have that console-like experience with Xbox, but then you will have that PC side of it where you can go into Windows, open up the Epic launcher, Steam, all that stuff. You are going to get more developers that are going to say, why should I spend the time making a port for Xbox when they just can access that through Steam or Epic or any other launcher on PC? That is going to be a real issue for Xbox going forward. And when that happens, they don't get any of that revenue at all. So if it doesn't come to their platform, there is no revenue to be had. So I fear that you're going to get a lot less third-party games going to Xbox, actual Xbox console next year.
Well, not big games, but like the hidden gems.
No, not the huge ones. But you're going to have a lot of these smaller games that are going to say, why? Why spend the money? And it may get to the point, Colt, where a bigger publisher might say, why spend the money? They can access it on Steam. I got an answer on that today. We don't care. Oh, go ahead.
I got an answer on that today that you will really like to hear this. And this is something, let's just pretend I'm making it up, okay? For people who are like, oh, I don't like this insider stuff. Xbox could be making their process so ubiquitous that when a developer makes a game for PC and Steam, that they easily make the Xbox PC version. Because I was like, well, they're like, it won't be a problem for next. So this person I was talking to is very close to this information. Said it's not going to be a problem for Xbox next gen. They're just riding it out. Like it's going to be tough for the next year or so until they have their own console, and then they won't have to worry about hidden gems or smaller gems like Black Myth Wukong or Dispatch missing the console because they'll just be able to buy the PC version. I said, dude, it doesn't work. When you say they'll just buy the game on Steam, because like you said a minute ago, Xbox gets zero money from that. It's like, oh, your fans still can play the popular game, but now Xbox is completely out of the equation. And how are you going to even keep your market alive when you do that? He said that Xbox's process is supposed to be funneling into when you make the Steam version. All you have to do is get the achievements and the Xbox Live integration, and it's the same version. Bang, it's right there, which means there will be some games, next generation Fonz, that will not be limited by a console form factor. So a good example is...
Okay, but you know what might limit them still, even with that? Because that does sound really good, but at the same time, if they don't sell enough consoles, these PC hybrids, they still won't make the game, the port. It's one of those things where... Is that good enough for them? Because they could get a sale from an Xbox guy who bought that console through Steam or Epic or some other store. They don't care where they're buying it. People will still access it. And gamers themselves, I don't think a lot of Xbox guys would mind to go to Steam to buy a game if they can't access it on the storefront for Xbox. I think they would jump to it. Because I think what they're going to mainly use that new Xbox for anyway is Game Pass. That is their whole spiel. That is what they're selling. They're selling Game Pass in a box with Steam. That is really the big ticket. That's the sale.
Yeah, I mean, a big chunk of Xbox people that will adopt the next console will be Game Pass subscribers for sure. But the point I was trying to make is that if there are hidden gems that could have missed the Xbox, if their process is because right now making an Xbox version of a game takes way longer than PlayStation, plus the user base is half. So developers are like, why should I spend all the extra time and money when it takes us more time and money to make that version, and then you sell it to half as many people, or sometimes less than half. But so if a game like, let's pretend that Black Myth Wukong was going to launch on the next Xbox console, only because they get this PC version, there would be some games that would come out and be available that would have PC settings on them. So if you move into the next generation Xbox, you may have more and more titles. Maybe if they're not mainstream, that would be fully PC versions, meaning you would not be locked to a certain frame rate or resolution. You'd be able to custom tailor that to your liking.
And that's what I'm hoping they do with that next console, even if the game is on the PC, on the Xbox side of things. I would hope that they would open all that up and let you tinker with all those settings. I know there's a lot of console guys out there. I used to be one of them and say, I don't want to tinker. I don't want to do that.
Same.
But now I don't mind it. To get where I want the game to perform, I don't mind tuning it. I don't mind doing that.
I got to ask you.
It's not a real hard thing to do.
How often do you load up a game and you're like, I just left the settings how they were?
Almost 100. No, probably like 99% of the time.
It launches and you're like, this is good.
Yeah, it's usually good. Well,
Yeah.
I have a high-end rig, so it's like it's going to run everything pretty well. There's certain titles, I'm looking at you, UE5, that I have to tinker with at times, but those are few and far between.
I mean,
luckily,
whether you have a 4090 or a 3080, well, for console only people, whether you have a really expensive setup or a medium setup, most modern games, I think I said this last week, most modern games look at your hardware, and before you push A on your controller on the PC,
it's already configured it.
Yeah, it's already said, hey, this is where you should be with that setup.
Yeah.
So PCs are more console-like than they've ever been. The movement to the Steam machine is really where we needed to go. Do you have any?
Yeah, and you know what the caveat is to that when it does set up your system? The thing I do not like is that it will use DLSS and other features like frame gen to get it to where it thinks you want all those things on. And hey, this is the best performance you're going to get. This is the best it's going to look. And that is when I tinker. I go in there and I go, frame gen off. And then I see my performance tank. So then I go in there and I start reducing stuff like shadows and things that aren't so like in your face when it comes to graphics. But
and how long does it take you to make those changes?
Oh,
10 seconds.
It's like
for me. It's like
total.
I might just change shadows, and then I might. That's whatever.
Yeah, it's not rough. But anyways, that's besides the point. I still think it's the best thing for Microsoft to do what they're doing. Now that they put themselves in this position, I think that going PC hybrid is the way to go. But man, I gotta say, and I don't know if it's one of the topics you wanted to discuss, but that whole Steam machine is a real disruptor.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot during the show, but I do have a couple questions for you. One is, what's the base model price in your opinion, and how does it disrupt what Xbox is doing?
Oh,
yeah.
Look, hey, this is just my opinion. This is the way I see it, because I've argued with certain people in the community over this behind the scenes. But I look at the Steam machine when it first showed up, okay, and we saw this thing and they announced its specs. We watched the Digital Foundry thing break it down. I was not impressed. I was not impressed. And I was like asking you, going, who is this for? But then I did some digging. And I started looking around and listening to people. That's the number one key. A lot of people that jump to what conclusions like I did initially, there's a lot of folks out there that will never back down on something. They get so headstrong in their thought process that that's the only way to think. I am not one of those people. If I'm wrong on something, I will go back and say, hey, I was wrong. I'll apologize. I'll do all that.
It takes forever, but yeah, you do.
But I do. And so the thing is, like, no, behind the scenes, we have a lot more struggle than out in public for sure. But in public, I'm saying I will come right back and say, hey, I was wrong. And I was wrong, because when I was finding out more about the situation, how the Steam machine is built and all that, look, Steam OS itself is a lot lighter than Windows. That thing is going to run games. The Digital Foundry said that it's like worse than the current gen consoles, but there's a potential that is going to run games even better in some cases because of the Steam OS itself. And because of the way it's built on Linux and everything, it doesn't have that bloaty OS of like Windows. So it could be really freaking awesome. And also, the other thing that really changed my mind on this is I opened up freaking TikTok, which is it is the most popular app out there for young and even older people. Yeah. Everything on my feed 2 days after this thing was revealed was Steam machine. So much hype. And these were from gamers, console gamers, PC gamers, you name it. They were hyping this thing up to no end. And I'm like, this thing's going to freaking sell. This thing is going to do well. This thing is going to be a disruptor because it does directly combat what Xbox is trying to do on the PC side there. They are in direct competition for sure. And I just see the Steam machine being the better OS, the better platform. Until you really get on PC and get on Steam OS and get on that platform, you don't really understand how like refined it is. It's just such a good platform. And then the sales on top of that.
Oh, amazing. I mean, the ecosystem's amazing. This answer here says that you can get a 1.7 times performance increase being on the Steam OS over Windows 11 on equivalent hardware. And this is why like the Steam Deck gets certified for games that may not run as well on a ROG Ally. And
yeah,
I say all these great things about Microsoft and Xbox, but I always have to have a caveat in there because I complained earlier in the show when you weren't here about the game bar and Xbox's PC app just needs so much work. And I'm like, why aren't they doing that like 70 years ago? And if they don't make Windows shut the heck up and let you game, like they have this supposed game mode, but when you launch a game, Windows should be like, all right, I don't need to do TurboTax or anything, whatever it's doing in the background. I know a lot of people say like, I don't want to do all the updates and the driver updates and installs. PC gaming isn't like that, even on Windows. But that's
I'm interested to see what. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Xbox does with this next console, and especially what they do with Windows. Yeah. I want to see how that doesn't ruin some gaming experiences like, it does now in some ways. Like, I know they're trying to get away from this whole like waiting for what is it called? When you get these patches and stuff for games on the Xbox side on PC, their games on PC, they're different because you don't have all the patches. Steam's got like all the patches day one. As soon as a patch comes out, boom, Steam gets it. With Windows, you could literally be waiting 3 weeks to a month for that same patch. And so you'll get games that don't run as well. I've seen that many times.
It's
games
because
running
Xbox's
on the
certification
Xbox
process is ridiculously stupid.
And I've had games that chugged on the Xbox Game Pass, and then I've got it on Steam, and it ran like a dream. And I'm like, what's the difference? And I found out about all that. They're two different games. They're just not built the same. They don't even have the same settings and stuff within the games sometimes. You go in there, they don't have the same settings.
Somebody said that Windows PC games don't have DLSS support and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, they do. I've played tons of them.
They do. They have DLSS support for sure.
Yeah, you and I were playing Pal World, and the Xbox version was so far behind the updates. Because
and so was like Flintlock. That was far behind. And
that was your first I hate Unreal Engine 5 moment, I think.
Yeah, it was Flintlock with all the stutters. Yeah. It was even on the Steam version because of UE5.
I want to ask you, you had somebody on your show about a month ago that was fairly sure and had public posts that Xbox was canceling the next generation hardware, that they weren't going to go forward with it like they did with the handheld. But today, Sarah Bond, this is not a real word, but she quintupled down on next generation hardware. She said it 3 times. I think she said it 4 times. Satya said it. Phil said it. I don't trust a lot of things that Phil says because stuff gets reversed on him. But Sarah Bond said that I don't even know if I even have. Oh, yes, I do have it. Let me read the quote from Sarah Bond.
Oh, before you read that, I just want to give my price for the Steam machine.
That's right. I asked you.
I think it's going to be between $5.99. $5.99.
Give me a number. Give me
okay. $5.99 is what I think it'll drop at. $599, $600. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking hard to that.
Say,
with no controller, just the box
and half a terabyte of storage.
Yeah, $5.99.
I wanted to say that because that's really the number I think that if
I
had
you got
to put
think
my
a
name
couple
on
of
one.
factors. All right, if you price this stuff out within the box, and you look at the fact that Valve built this thing themselves, that points to a cheaper price point than many are speculating. I've seen people speculate up to $1,000, and I'm like, you moron! There's no way this thing is going to be $1,000. It's going to be priced very competitively. At the most, I think we'd see this thing as $699, but I don't think it's going there. I think it's going to be $599. PC Gamer themselves think it's going to be $499, but
their article this morning,
that would be insane. But I think it's going to be $599.
I think they're missing the 30% markup, and they always do that. I did not make that mistake when I priced out the Scorpio back in the day. There's a 30% markup. You put you figure out where all the prices are, and then you add a 30% markup, which you have to.
What's
you
the
have
30%
to round
markup for? What's that for?
Because they're providing from a third party. They're getting
no. But see, Valve is Oh, I got you on that. Yeah, you're right about that. I was thinking you were talking about retail space. They're going to have now.
No.
They're selling direct. So
there's no retail.
That's going to be cheaper too. Yeah.
I'm talking about just the parts. And then
I get that.
I parted out it's like, I was right way back in 9 years ago, but I parted out the Scorpio with a 30% markup. And then it was so close. Then I rounded up and came to the $500 price point. And of course that's what it was. And so I think I was flipping back and forth earlier in the show that it should be 600 because I'm with you on the 600. But then I think in 2026, this stuff's kind of older, and it's between the Series S and the PS5 in power. And the digital PS5 is $500, right? Or is it $450? Gosh darn it. Destin told me. Destin was saying in the chat that it should be priced at around the digital PS5. So that puts it at $500. But I think since it's something that Valve is building, they're not going to have a lot of them. Like, because PlayStation said, we're going to sell 100 million PS5s. So here's where we're pricing it. And that adjusted over time and price hikes came up. So I do lean towards $600, but I would not be surprised if they say this thing is $500. So anyway,
no, it wouldn't shock me either. Especially after reading that PC Gamer article, I was like, I could see it, but I think it's going to be $599.
Are they going to sell it without the controller fawns?
For that price, I would say so. With the controller, you might see $650, $700 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a
I don't
base
know.
model.
That controller's an abomination, man. I don't want that thing anyway. You know what? I'm going to use this thing when I get that anyway. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this nice GameSir controller. I'm a big fan and advocate for GameSir now. They don't pay me for anything, but I love their controller so much now that I bought one. It got the Hall effect sticks, the freaking triggers, the buttons are nice, very clicky and tactile.
People don't need to buy that Steam controller, so I think if they leave it out, that can take a large chunk of money off there and make that thing $500. And Happy Bomb is so right. The channel moderator says only 189 of you have hit the like button, and we've had almost 450 people watching. So yes, please show your support. It helps the show reach more people, and more people can hang out with us and hear the discussion. We appreciate it. And
shout out to Soil Tech, by the way. He's the one that told me about the GameSir controllers. He put me onto them. And I am forever grateful, because not only is this controller, in my opinion, better than the standard Xbox controllers. You also get buttons on the back, by the way. They're half the price. Half the freaking price.
And you're not sponsored, right?
Not sponsored. Not
Chris 3464, thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, Cole, if anything protects Fable, it may be that Playground seems to be one of Xbox's most profitable studios, thanks to Forza Horizon. I don't think the Fable's going to get canceled. I just don't know when they're ready to launch that game. And
no, it's not.
In January at Developer Direct, if it's in the Developer Direct, it's coming out this year, unless, I don't know, I don't think they're going to show it if they think they're going to push it past GTA. Nighthawk, thank you so much for the 2, says, Threads of Time, Fable, and GTA 6 are my most anticipated. And Lotus Esprit, since $10, it goes at Fonz Gaming. So Fonz must be Lotus's favorite content creator. Yeah.
No. Shout out to him, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Lotus Spree's great. Al Sharifi, thank you so much for the Canadian $2.79. Says, Mag, we want Colt with you at Niagara Falls. I would love to go out there and hang out. Danny Passion official, or Danny Passion, thank you for the 2. Says, Xbox sucks, laugh out loud. I want them to be better. I absolutely do. Brad Ward Fight says, Canadian Mag win. Canadian Mag at all times. How about Canadian Fawns? We have Idaho Fawns.
Canadian.
It's time for Canadian Fawns.
Yeah, it's Idaho Fawns. It's Idaho Fawns now. Love Idaho. Love it.
The next Xbox is not coming out until 2027. So we're at 2 years from now. And I will continue to make videos about that thing.
Of course, as you should.
Can the next Xbox and the Steam machine and its myriad of OEM console hybrids all coexist together in this industry, Fonz?
Can I say something about the OEM consoles? I don't like that idea at all myself. I'm not a fan. And
Why
that's
not?
only because maybe I'm short-sighted, but I look at it as being just these consoles that, well, they won't really be Xboxes per se. I mean, they'll have the name Xbox, don't get me wrong. I'll still attest to that, but they won't have the backwards compat chips. They won't play your Xbox library. It's not the same thing. Unless it's cloud.
If any of the OEM consoles come out next year, they will not have the Xbox chip. But after that's if they decide to use the Xbox chip, which will be super powerful and affordable, why not? Yeah, then any OEM or the Xbox console PC hybrid fawns will play more games than your PC. Because
Can I ask you something though? Why?
It'll have back compat games that are not on PC. It'll have all of your games that you bought on Xbox console. It'll have those plus all the PC games.
So why? Let me ask you this though: do you think it's a good idea to flood the market with a bunch of different Xboxes from different manufacturers?
I mean, Xbox apparently thinks it's a good idea.
Okay, because this has been done in the past with consoles, and they've not fared well. We've had other instances
3DOs.
where consoles have had other 3DOs was one of those. There was the Magnavox something, and it had like a Philips brand as well. CDI.
Wasn't the ColecoVision and Intellivision like nearly identical? But they played all the same cartridges or something? Do you know what the ColecoVision is?
Yeah, I remember ColecoVision. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
but
I ever played
one. Dude, it's been so long since I played any of those old consoles, but I remember these consoles that had different OEMs, different manufacturers, and they sold badly, terribly. And I don't see it being a good thing for Xbox. I think they need to concentrate on their box, what they designed with AMD, this new PC hybrid, and just really focus on that.
What if Xbox knows that not everyone's going to buy an Xbox full branded console, so they start making 30% on every AMD Xbox chip that goes into other devices, other handhelds, or other form factors? Maybe that's their play. Because my friend my friend close to Xbox says Xbox does not put priority number one on hardware, but Sarah Bond said today, I just went away from it. Hold on.
I think GTA 1977 has it right in the chat about them wanting to leave hardware. And that's the only way to really do it is to try to get OEM out there and just, have other manufacturers make it. The thing is,
they don't want to leave hardware though. This is what she said. Quote, hardware.
I don't think they.
Hardware is absolutely core to everything that we do at Xbox because we know that our most valuable players, the people who love Xbox, love the hardware experience. That is why we're working on our next generation hardware. It's going to be a powerful experience and one that also enables people to take their library with them. Close quote.
Okay, let me ask you this. Then I'm going to pose a question to you. Say this next hybrid console from them comes out and doesn't do well at all, but whatever OEM is out at the time does better because it's cheaper. Do you think then they'll keep doing hardware themselves, or will they just allow OEM to continue?
I'm starting to think maybe they won't leave the hardware business after this generation that's coming up, because if their plan is to make an Xbox chip and that is the Xbox after this generation, they have their console PC hybrid, and then they reiterate they do a next generation chip, and this is like the de facto gaming chip that can be binned for handhelds or binned to put in. Remember, Hargeet Chani, your co-host, said in the near future, in the near future, those gaming chips will be in your TV, and you can natively play real games on your TV in the future because the chips will get so small, so powerful.
And that's what I'm getting at. They may be able to, just put these chips in these OEM consoles or the TVs and stuff, but I don't think they're going to make another console themselves after this next one. The reason being, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but I don't think it's going to sell all that well. I really don't. And
Meg and I've said honestly, it a million times. It won't. It'll sell 10 to 20 at the most, if that.
I think it'll sell 10 to 15 at the most, and that's at a decent price. If it's under $1,000, if it's over, I'm saying it fails hard, miserably, and I don't think they come back to hardware. I think they let OEM hardware come out, and at that point, they're not the ones doing it. So they are indeed out of the hardware business. They have other people doing it for them, and that probably makes more sense, business sense for them. Because they want to concentrate on being a big third-party publisher. That's what they want to concentrate on. I think that's their number one. They really want Game Pass to succeed, I think. And I think that, I still don't know about all these OEM things, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested to see what happens this coming,
I do think it's funny that we look at all of this through the lens of what we've known for our entire lives. You and I are almost 50. And we've seen the consoles that this cartridge doesn't work in that console. Yeah. And we've evolved into a world where you and I are literally taking our favorite games across console and PC at ease. And we don't know what the future looks like. And the funny thing is, I always say, will there be a next Xbox after this? We're talking 2032. Will we even be playing on hardware at all? Like right now, people are saying how incredible cloud is. In 2035, we may be playing a premier experience on demand, on cloud that like blows us away. And we may be man, those are the old days. Yeah?
Yeah. God willing, our old hands will still be playing video games by then.
Probably not.
I'm just look. I'm going to play as long as I can. Honestly, if I'm in a nursing home somewhere, I'm going to have my games.
We'll be playing GTA 7 in our nursing home.
Yeah, I know. That's what it'll be. No, it'll be GTA 6 still. It'll be the old GTA 6.
Still be doing that GTA Online.
Yeah. They'll be doing the trailers for GTA 7 or something right before we die.
So Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat in the chat says, apparently Valve are looking, yes, I talked about this earlier, they're allowing OEMs with the Steam box. So even Valve is going to let other people make their own box with their hardware configuration.
Yeah.
So
the difference there is they don't need a back compat chip or anything. It's basically their OS, their freaking platform. They can do what they want there. But it's so weird because it's untested territory, or at least we haven't seen this in many years. And I'm just wondering how it's going to fare in this new gaming landscape as we move forward. It's changed so much in the 40 years I've been gaming. It's changed so much. I don't know what is going to sell, what's not going to sell, unless of course it's too high a price. And I know it's not going to sell. I remember I'm interested to seeing the tech and everything. I want to see what happens with Xbox next. I want to see what they do with the next hybrid PC thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're to believe anything that Sarah Bond says in that statement, and a lot of it sounds like corpo speak and PR points from her communications team, right?
Yeah,
they definitely want to say right now that they're committed to the core hardware thing, because that is going to be that's going to be everything they have next gen in a year or two, right? So you have to say that. But I really feel like if I was going to read the tea leaves, that after this 8 years is over, or 6 or 10 years, whatever it is, the industry will be so metamorphosized from something we don't know, that we can't see yet. But I can tell you,
or
Fonz
will
and
it be all good?
You and I grew up in an era where it's going to sound super nostalgic, but Fonz and I rolled in our cars with incredible mixtapes. I'm talking real mixtapes where I took CDs and I put in highest quality. I would buy really nice tapes, and they sounded incredible in my car. And then when we were in high school, we were popping CDs in, and I could skip all the nostalgia and get you to right now where my music, all of my music is here with the press of a button on my phone wherever I go, in the house, in the car, in the store with an earbud in, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think there's going to be a day where old people like Fonz and I think, I load up my game on demand. I don't have to wait 30 minutes or 45 minutes for a download. I just load up Kingdom Come Deliverance 4, and it feels like the old days.
I could see that.
So
I could kind of see that where we're going to get to the point where, of course, who knows? Maybe even cloud shows that there's almost a 0% latency in the future. Maybe that'll happen. I know it's pretty decent now.
I mean, tell them what it was like before you got your PC.
GeForce Now. Yeah, GeForce Now was amazing. Especially for single player games, I didn't notice any latency. It was only in the competitive games, and of course that would be idiotic to play a cloud game.
You loaded up Cyberpunk and some other brand new games on GeForce.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 and all that. I played all those games and they ran flawlessly, beautifully. And I hear that even xCloud has been much improved, and it's so much better now than it used to be. But no, I could see things going to a different format where they don't necessarily have to make their own consoles. I could see OEM taking it. Who knows? And Magnum in the chat said it's not very exciting, the future of gaming. Magnum, I am a very pessimistic person. Okay, you guys know me to be very the old man that yells at clouds.
Yeah.
And at times I sound like I hate every game known to man. That is simply not true. And I will say this. I sometimes think the way you're speaking right there. And I think the future of gaming is not going to be so good. But you know what happens? A game comes along that totally changes my mind. And it happens time and time again.
Happens like every couple months.
This happens.
Well, every couple months.
No, and not
sometimes.
even every couple of months. This generation, it's been every few months or so, but it always happens that way. Like, I get so pessimistic and I think about the future and I'm like, oh man, everything's going to be OEM. You're going to have crap hardware. Every game is going to be on Unreal Engine 5. They're all going to suck. And then a game will come out and defy exactly what I'm talking about.
Raiders.
And I'll be like, there it is.
There's
the game.
Let me ask you a question. 10, 15 years ago, did you think that all of your games, every single game, that you would not own it on disc and pop it into your device?
Never. You could have asked me that 6 years ago and I would have told you, nope, I'd like to buy my games. I remember it was just,
it was 9 years ago
when I started going.
Yeah.
It was 6 years ago for me. I started going all digital. I said, forget owning, the physical copies. I don't want them around the house. You know what changed me though? It was because every time I would load in a disc, it would say, download the game. And I'd be like, wait a minute, but I have the disc.
Yeah,
so
install it.
In some cases, I would unplug from the internet, and guess what? I couldn't play that game because it needed to download something. And I'm like, I don't need to own this. This is a freaking coaster. That's what those discs represent. Nothing but a coaster. So therefore, I'm like, why do I need this plastic box in my house? Why do I need that disc? I don't. Everything is on downloaded now. It's way more convenient to download your games. Plus, it's cheaper on the PC side, not so much on the console side, but digital games, much cheaper.
I want to highlight someone that's going to get destroyed in the chat. Jedi Warrior 916 says Arc Raiders is shiz. It's just a Division Dark Zone.
Man.
I'm sorry you don't like it, bro. It's pretty fantastic.
I don't like extraction shooters. I'll admit, I'm not a big fan. I did not like Helldivers 2. Nope. I love this game because it represents the most immersive feeling you can get in a multiplayer PvP/PvE game. It honestly, it brings me like, man, it's a lot of fun to play, but it has a lot of tense moments. There's so much tension built up during a match that it's unlike anything I've played in many years. I go way back to when I used to play Ultima Online. Ultima Online on PvP servers. If you were out in the world with loot you didn't want to get taken and people would come after you, oh man, the tension, the sweating that it would induce.
Sounded like me.
Same thing.
Oh man, that thing is massively huge.
Oh man, that thing is massively huge. It's true.
Oh man, that thing is massively huge.
But this game, also the PvP servers back when I used to play WoW too. Same kind of thing. I hated getting griefed and all that, but it was part of the experience. And I'll say this to people out there who constantly whine and bitch about, oh my God, I wish we just had PvE only servers on Arc. I don't like all these griefers. Guess what? Go play Helldivers 2. I got a game for you. It's Helldivers 2. Because it's an extraction shooter where it's just PvE. Go play that game and have fun. This is not for you. This game is meant to be PvP/PvE.
That's crazy because Helldivers 2 is extremely boring to me.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's what Arc is without the PvP. Take the PvP out of Arc and you get Helldivers 2, Colt.
Yep.
Except you're shooting robots, not bugs.
Official Gamer says Ninja Theory is getting shut down next too. Ninja Theory is actually making a bunch of money for Microsoft, believe it or not. They had incredible profit margins this past couple quarters because they farm out their capture content to other studios. They're making a ton of money, even though Helldivers sold to 5 people. Mark that. But
no. There's a lot of people in the chat that love Helldivers too. They're saying it right now. No, I know. It's fine. You guys love the game. Cool. I'm glad you guys are having fun with it. Don't come and play Arc and be upset. Because Arc is a different thing. And people, like, I don't like to get grief killed. I don't like it. But I love the fact that situation can happen. I love the fact that I have to be situationally aware of my surroundings and what's going on before I try to make it to that extraction zone. I love the fact that if I know people are griefing over at that extraction zone, I got another one over there I could try to get to, or I've got an Arc Raider key to run to and freaking use. Like, I love that aspect of this game. There's so much you can do to avoid a lot of these griefers. It's just, you get a lot of mindless people that'll run in there and just be looking through stuff and do and yelling, I'm friendly, and you get shot in the face. Yep. You have to be situationally aware or else you're going to get shot in the face. It happens to me sometimes. It's it sucks when it happens, but I love that it's there. That's the only way I can explain it, Colt. Like, I love that feeling of, man, can I trust this guy? I mean, you and we were grief killed at one point, and then every match after that, I had my head on a swivel. Every time we went past somebody and they said friendly, I stared at him and walked backwards the whole time with my gun out. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, there are a lot of cooperative people, but this weekend, I was telling people at the beginning of the show, this weekend it was just like the Wild West. No one was nice. It was crazy. Yeah.
What's up, Farky? Really
Farky was playing a lot of sessions with us, or at least in party chat, as we, because you can only have 3 people at a time, and a lot of us have been playing. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
I hope that they open that up more. I would love like a 5-player experience.
Oh, it could be an absolute bloodbath with that many people.
Yeah, I was playing with Gaz and Epic Treasure earlier, and they were shooting at some people from quite a distance. And I ran around and flanked and went behind these people and started shooting them from behind. They had no idea we were coming. But then out of nowhere, 3 more people, another team came out of nowhere and killed us all. So it was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun.
It is really cool. Thank you, Fonz, for being here as I extended these topics. I wanted to make sure I got them, and they needed to be talked about, but not pushed to next week. So I appreciate you being here. Guys, we're going to call the show.
If the Steam Machine comes out at $4.99 or even $5.99, I will get one.
That's crazy to hear that from you, cool. But
yeah,
I'm assuming
I will get one.
You would get one because that could go in your family room.
I want that Steam Machine in the family room. Something a lot of people don't have these days. That's what I hear anyway. There's no family rooms.
That's not true,
anymore. Though. Why are people saying that?
Audience, is that
who
true?
has a family room?
Family rooms haven't been a thing in 15 years. And I'm like, well, I built my house 15 years ago. But I'm like, I go into all kinds of houses. Everyone has a room with the like you might call it
where the
different.
TV is, and everybody, the whole family sits around, watches it. And since I have my little game room, with my monitor and everything now, this is where I have my PS5 hooked up to my monitor, my PC, all that. And ever since I've done that, though, my girls are like, "Hey, how come we don't play the PS5 anymore in the family room?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the family room." So I think I'm going to put the PS5 there.
You
for
probably
them.
should.
But
yeah,
that's where I'm going to have the Steam Machine, and that's if it is indeed cheap, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there, and I can play. I have access to my whole Steam library there. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. And so if I want to sit there on the couch with the kids, boom, fire up a game.
It's funny that you came around on that because I was like, it might be cool for certain people, but I'm like, I won't want one, and I still probably won't get one, but I'm glad people are excited about it, and I can see why people want one. So
yeah, of course.
All right, Fonz.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh, it's crap. It's 8:00 over here. I haven't even had dinner.
It's 9:00 over here, buddy.
It's a little late. All right, guys. Thanks. Hit your like button on the way out. Follow Fonz. I'll have to put in his. Write something in the chat, and they can go subscribe to your channel. His channel's growing like a weed lately. So,
Fonz Gaming, not like a weed, but it's grown a little bit, and I appreciate everybody who's watched my last couple of videos. I might not have a video out this week. I'm going to try to, but if I can't get it done before I leave, because I leave Wednesday, I go on a trip. I'm going to another competition for my daughter. I'm a dance dad. I support my girl, and so we're going to Texas. We'll be there for a week. We'll be back next week, and just in time for my show. So I will be doing my show tomorrow night. I'll be doing my show next week. Hopefully I can get a video out for you guys.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, Fonz, because hopefully I'll have a video out by the end of the week, but we will not be here for X&C this coming Monday because I'll be out of town with my family, finally going on vacation. So
how dare you go on vacation with your family? How dare you? You're supposed to be here.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. We're going to get out. Hit the like button on the way out. Send a comment. Tell us what you think Game of the Year will be and how much that Steam Machine will cost when it lands. And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. See ya.
5, 6.